Hello, hello. Oh, goodness. I forgot to do something. Good morning, friends. I forgot to do something. Hang on. Bear with me for one sec. I forgot to. Why is that not coming on? Oh, it's unplugged. I forgot to turn on my iPad. So bear with me a sec, friends. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday after Thanksgiving to my US friends. And happy Saturday to my everyone friends. Oh, hang tight for just one sec, because I can't see you guys. Well, I can kind of see you, but not really. I can't see any of the chat unless I squint and get really close. Like, hello from Montana. It's warm. Hi, Rena. She said it's warm in Montana. All right, let's look here. We're almost there. Hang tight. You get the one-eyed version of me. Oh, connect to the internet, really. How is everybody this Saturday? Hopefully staying warm. Carolyn, hi Carolyn, hi Terry. Yes, belated Thanksgiving, belated happy Thanksgiving. Let's try just 1 minute, just one stinking minute here. Your channel, playlists, hopefully. This gives those people that like to drop in a few minutes after we start, look, just time to join us. Okay, we're almost there. There we are, live. Now I can see it, almost. See, now I can see the chat. Laura said, finally catching live. Hi, Laura, nice to have you live. Hey, Deborah. Joanne said, nice day in Victoria Harbor, Ontario. Wonderful. Carolyn, thank you. Wonderful reminder. Carolyn said, remember to like the video, friends. Yes, thumbs up is super helpful. Let's see. Scrapbook Sister 70 said, good afternoon, Squirrel Squad. Is that Scrapbook Sister? Have you been posting a lot in the Facebook group? Lots of your lists. Is that you? Tell me, I'm curious. Terry said, welcome to all of our newbies. Yes, welcome everyone. Carla said, good morning from Arkansas. Beverly, good morning from sunny Phoenix. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Denise. I'm blurry. Am I? Okay, I don't think, let me see. I'm not blurry. Denise, click on the gear. Click on the gear in the little lower right-hand corner of your player window and change the quality, because I think the blurry is on your end. Because I can see and I don't look blurry. So you guys tell me if anyone else is seeing that I'm blurry. If it's a lot of people, then it's me. But if it's only one or two, then it's on your end. But sometimes YouTube will mess with, on your end, not on my end, but on your end, the quality. And so if you just click on the gear and change the quality, then it will be good. Okay, good. Sounds like most people not blurry. So Denise, try that and let us know how it works. Yes, Scrapbook Sister said, yes, my name is Trish. I knew there was a T and I wanted to say Terry, but I knew it wasn't Terry. Trish, I need to comment on all of your posts. Trish has been awesome. She has been sharing so many of her lists in the Facebook group, you guys. So if you're not in the Facebook group, I think you should head over there and just request to join. And then, I just need to say, okay. But it's a private group, but anyone can join as long as they're not a spammer, because every once in a while we get spammers in there. And generally it happened a little bit while I was teaching a lot. And after all that wound down, I hopped in the Facebook group and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's people, I don't know, selling investment things. It was just weird, but that happens very rarely. So if you're not in the Facebook group, I would encourage you to go, because Trisha, well, lots of people. I love it when you guys see your lists, because you always get to see my lists, but I rarely get to see your lists unless you post them in there. Or unless you take a class from me in person and you happen to bring your list, which I love because they're really fun to see. But yes, Trisha's sharing so many of her lists, which I just love. So thank you for doing that, Trisha. I know everyone in the group is really enjoying seeing those, so thank you. Denise said fixed. Okay, good. Yeah, that's just a quick tip, you guys. And it's anything on YouTube. If you're ever watching and it's blurry, generally 9 times out of 10, it's not the person filming, it's on your end. So just click that little gear and it will solve it. Winnell Keel said, good morning. Cold in West Central Texas. Rained all day yesterday with low temps that carried over today. Praying everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Yes, I hope everyone had a lovely Thanksgiving. It can be a hard time of year for a lot of people. So just be kind to yourself. If it's a hard time of year for you, be kind to yourself, because you need to, right? You need to. You deserve it. Karen said, good morning, all from beautiful Aurora, Colorado. Gerda said, oh, hold on. So hold on. I missed something. Mother Goose Librarian. I'm too shy to share my list in Facebook. Mother Goose Librarian, you get over that right now. You get over that right now. This is your mother speaking. Yes, you share. You know what? Everybody has a different style. Everybody approaches things differently, and everybody is amazing and fantastic because you're doing you. And if you're doing you, then it is amazing and fantastic. So please, please, please don't ever, ever, ever be too shy to share. Because I think it's such a wonderful place to be. It's fun. It's fun. We like it there. Shannon said, morning. It's cold and rainy here in Arkansas. Hi, Debbie from Idaho. Fiona, hello, Fiona. Hi, Pam. Looking forward to listening this morning. Okay, friends, so let me back up for a second. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Layle, and when I am not traveling and teaching, this is where we are on Saturday mornings. We are here on my YouTube channel, and we do something that I like to call creative listing. So usually on Thursdays, I will publish at least 3 listing topics, and then we sit down on Saturday. And when I say we, I mean me. And sometimes this little guy, my little friend Scatter. And some of you are listing with me. Others of you are just hanging out. You're chatting. You're working. Some of you tell me you're cleaning the bathroom. You're just doing whatever. But it's kind of a fun little social place to be, even if you are not listing with us. So if you are listing with us, love that. If you're not listing with us, I just love that you're here. Those of you that can't watch live and are watching the replay, welcome to you as well, because love to have you. I love to have everyone, even if you can't make it live, because I know life gets in the way. So at any time, if you're popping in to say hello, welcome. If you are new, please, please, please pop in the chat and say hello. Such a friendly bunch, and we love to know that you're here. So you can say hi, say newbie. Lots of time we have the long-time listener, first-time caller. So people that have been lurking for a while, but that'll pop in and say, hi, I'm here. So we just love to know that you're here. You guys will find that as we are working, if you're watching live, there's a live chat that takes place. So that is happening. I see it on the right-hand side of my screen, although I should say I see it once I rotate the camera and start working. I can see a little bit right now, but it's too far away right here from the camera for me to see unless I get in really close. And then I can see it if I look over here to the side, but then I'm not really interacting. So once I flip the camera, then I can see it as I'm working, much easier. So that chat is a great place, like I said, to pop in and say hello. It's a great place for questions. It's a wonderful little community. So if you are watching and you have a question, it's a good idea if you put your question in all caps, because then if I glance up, I tend to see those all caps. But if it's something that I don't answer, sometimes I just don't see it. Or sometimes I see it and think, oh, that's a great question, but I'm going to touch on that in a second. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
You want to come say hi?
Yes, of course.
All right, guys. So one of my children's, one of my children's and my children's girlfriends are in town. So you guys come on in. So you guys have heard me talk about Jack a lot. This is Jack. You might have to.
Out of the frame.
You might have to duck. I know.
Sure.
He's a kind of a tall guy. And this is his girlfriend, Kat. So we have Jack and Kat saying hi.
Hi.
Jack is rather tall. Jack is, what, 6'4"?
Oh, yeah.
6'4". I am not 6'4", so you can see when he's there, he kind of has to. Yeah, what are you guys doing? Yeah, off does he sound?
We're finishing up some bagels real quick. And then
Oh,
we'll
okay,
head out, so.
good. All right, well, have a good day, and I'll see you guys later.
Of course.
Okay, you guys, they're a little part of our list today, so it's kind of fun. You'll see. You'll see how I had a fun idea yesterday. So thank you guys.
No worries.
Yeah, so it's fun. Jack and Kat flew into town on Thursday. They flew in on Thanksgiving, and oh my goodness, of course, their flight was delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. So they were about maybe 3.5 hours delayed. They were flying out of SeaTac in Seattle and lots of fog. And so Thanksgiving and fog, and it just, ended up being a little bit, but you know what? You have got to roll with it, because these days, if you're traveling, that's just kind of what happens. So let's see. Shay said, oh, wow. Hi, guys. Carolyn said, so much fun. Hi, lovelies. Denise said, hello, Jack and Kat. Hi, Jack and Kat. Hi from sunny California. So it's kind of fun. Sometimes you guys hear or you see Jack pop in to the chat every once in a while from Tacoma. That's where they live. And he'll pop in, but they thought, hey, it might be kind of fun to pop in and say hello. Like here today to say hello. So that was fun. I love that they did that. Yes, Terry said, Layle, isn't it fun when our sons fall in love? Yes, and Kat is a lovely, lovely human. So Jack cooks. Jack is working towards being a chef, and Kat actually bakes. Kat, this is very cool. She is going to school right now to be a middle school science teacher, which bless her heart. And I mean that in a good way, not in like the South kind of way. I mean, bless her heart in a good way, because there are definitely not enough teachers, and that age and science, that's such a critical age where kids start to kind of lose their passion for learning, or can, especially for some subjects. So yes, so Kat, on, let's see, yesterday, she brought all of the ingredients to make from scratch brownies, and oh my gosh, I can't even tell you, so amazing. They were so good. So we did Thursday with Nick's mom and Nick's side of the family at Nick's mom's house. So we got there very late after everyone had eaten, but it was okay. And then yesterday we did Thanksgiving at our house again with my mom. Well, my mom was in both spots, and then my dad, and my dad has a new lady friend, so she came and joined. She was lovely. And then Jack and Kat were here, and then Sam and his girlfriend were here. So we had a lot of, it was good. And then our drain in the kitchen, the sink, just totally decided to die. So that was a whole other issue. And that doesn't it always tend to do things? Things like that tend to happen at the most inopportune times, right? So it's, end of Thanksgiving dinner. There's dishes everywhere, all the big pots and pans, and yeah. So that's what Nick is working on today. We'll see how that goes. I'm like, maybe we should just call a plumber. He's like, no, I'm not calling a plumber. He kind of likes to do it yourself. So we'll see, right? We'll see. We shall see. Yes, Teresa, that's exactly what Kat said. Teresa said, science teachers make great bakers, precise measurements. That's what she said. It's a formula. It is a formula. Jack says he does not bake at all because that's not how he cooks. He cooks very much, add this, a little bit of this, flavor this, try this. And if you're baking, you can't do that. At least that's what I'm told, because I don't do either. I don't cook and I don't bake. So I like to eat. That works. Okay, friends. So let's see. Yes, and Carolyn said, and yes, for women in science. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Ms. L, I'm missing something about Gerda. Yes, I'm on. Yeah, you guys. Thank you. You guys are helping Gerda. So we'll let you. I mean, not that Gerda needs help, but it sounds like she is seeing something odd or not quite seeing yet. All right, friends. So. We're going to list today, okay? Does that sound fun? And I think my voice is going to hold out today. We'll see. But if you joined me last Saturday, hot mess. I had come off of 5 weeks of teaching in person over the course of 8 weeks. And my voice was gone, and I was getting sick. And good news is, when they say that if you don't take time to rest when you need it, your body will tell you when it's time. Yes, my body definitely told me when it's time. So I did take a little bit of time off and spent it watching, guess what? I spent it watching Hallmark Christmas movies because that made me happy. Yes, so, and sleeping and trying to rest and all that. But yes, things are good now. So, and then of course rolled right into getting ready for the Women-led Wednesday, Thanksgiving Thursday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. So let's talk about Small Business Saturday really quickly, friends, and then we'll get going. Small Business Saturday, so important. So important that you support the small businesses in your local community. I mean, if you've coffee shop or an art store or clothing store, a local grocer, anything like that. So important that we support our small businesses. And if you don't have small businesses in your community that have what you are looking for, then shop small online, because small online is exactly the same. It just may not be in your community. But if it's not in your community, it's in someone's community, and that shopping that you're doing is helping to support that local community. So just kind of remember that and keep it in mind. I'm right with you guys. I know I love a good deal. I don't do Black Friday shopping anymore in person. I used to love that. Used to do that with my friend Karen, and on Thursday we would be at our own homes, and you'd get the giant newspaper with all the flyers, and you'd plan your attack. And clearly don't do that anymore, but I'm right there with you. I love a good bargain, but sometimes if you think about maybe paying another dollar or two, that just goes so far. So just remember, support local, support small, support online small, whatever it is, but especially today, support small. Okay, I think we're ready. Well, let's talk about, I've got a couple prizes, right? Real quick, let me just do a quick cough off camera as I cough into my elbow, because we all try to get in the habit of coughing on our elbow, right? And then maybe a quick hydration break. Um, okay, good. I need to put that somewhere where it's not going to fall down. Things are still, I did a little bit of cleaning in here, but not much. So things are still kind of a giant nightmare in my craft room. Let's talk about prizes. So 2 prizes. I always do prizes because I like to share. And last week I did 2 prizes. One was a mix and mingle bundle. We'll take a look at mix and mingle in a minute because it's one of it's what I used on one of my lists last week. Mix and mingle bundle. The way that you participate in the prizes every week is I have you leave a comment on the video once it's over. So not in the chat. Once the video is over, I ask you to leave a comment. And then the day of, so like this morning, before we started, I drew just 2 random lucky winners. So the winner of the mix and mingle bundle is Claire Barrett, 7023. So congratulations, Claire. Anyone can participate, and that's why I like to do them after the fact. So you don't have to be live to participate. As long as you're leaving a comment on the video before the next one starts next week, then we're good. So Claire, yes, congratulations, Claire. She won a fun mix and mingle product bundle. And the second prize was, I don't have an empty one of these in here, but it was one of the ink blending foam storage kits. And so that prize goes to Shauna Smith, 2003. So congratulations to both Claire and Shauna. Ladies, I in the comment that I left you in response to your comment, when I said you won, I left you information and instructions on how to go about claiming your prize. Here's another thing, you guys. If you've ever won a prize and you've never received it, please don't be shy. It just meant it flew under my radar. I probably flagged it in my email and then things got crazy and I didn't circle back. So don't ever be shy. And that's with anybody. If you won something and you don't get it, don't be shy. It is not any, excuse me, bad intention on the person that is giving the prize. Sometimes life just gets in the way. Things get busy, so please know that. But I think I'm almost caught up-ish. So anyhow, all right, so that is the first thing. The second thing, Black Friday. So Black Friday in our world has turned into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 6 days in my world. And that happens in a lot of things. I read something yesterday that said on Black Friday, there are like 13.5 billion emails that go out, like 13.5 billion. And you probably have been inundated, like absolutely inundated in your email with tons of emails about Black Friday. So I'll just mention, if you haven't Black Friday shopped, or Women-Led Wednesday, Thanksgiving Thursday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, I don't know, tomorrow's Sunday, and then Cyber Monday, any of those days. So I have a really good Black Friday sale going on. So if you have missed that or haven't had a chance to shop it yet, you should head over to my website, which is laylebymail.com. And right at the top in a big red bar, you'll see it'll say Shop Black Friday Now. So you should check that out. As we talk about our listing schedule for the month of December, you guys, I think we are together 4 times in the month of December. So I think there are 5 Saturdays. So we're together 4 of them. There is one, well, not 4 of them. I think we're together 3 of them. And then I substituted a Saturday for a Wednesday. So we're going to do a Wednesday night. But if you haven't seen what that schedule is, I don't know. I think it's on the, is it updated on the blog? I know it's the 3rd. I know it's the 10th. And then I think then it's that Wednesday and the following. Anyhow, I need to put it on the blog again because it was on the blog. But anyhow, just know we're together next Saturday. That's the most important thing. We're together next Saturday and the one after that. And then there'll be a few kind of spread out. So just know that. But we will be here. I'll be here listing because I got a lot to catch up on. We have a lot of listing to do because we missed out on a lot of it the last like 8 weeks or so as I was doing a ton of traveling. Okay, friends, I think we are ready to, oh, Dandy, thank you so much, sweetheart. Dandy said it's the 3rd, the 10th, The 17th. Oh, actually, Dandy, it's not quite that. It's the 3rd, the 10th, and the 31st. It's not the 17th. I had to move the 17th because I'm going out of town. So it's the 3rd, the 10th, the Wednesday after the 10th, and then the 31st, because we're not going to do the 26th. Just like on the 26th, my favorite thing to do is in the morning, do nothing. And then the afternoon, that's usually when we take down the Christmas tree and all of that, because I'm ready for it to be down by then. All right. Okay, guys. Oh, good. Gerda, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that everybody here was able to help you figure out how to get things going. Wonderful. All right, friends, let us flip the camera, and I think we're ready to go, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. There we go, Trisha. Thank you. Trisha said December 14th is Wednesday night. So yes, we are together. The 3rd, the 10th, the 14th, and the 31st. And bless your heart, again, in a good way. I don't live in the South, so generally when I say bless your heart, it's always the good way. Colleen reminded me to plug in my phone. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you, thank you. And let's turn on the lights. So today, Jack and Kat are going to spend the day with Sam and T, Sam's girlfriend, which is fun. I love seeing, brothers. They, a lot, as they were growing up, would clash very much, very different personalities, right? They each have their own personality, which is wonderful, but they would clash a lot and sometimes fight a lot. So I'm very glad that they have kind of, I don't want to say mended the fences, because they're really not. Oh, Dandy, yeah, no, hon, don't feel bad at all. I know you were reading the old graphic. That's totally fine. No, I appreciate that you just even had that for us. So that's awesome. I don't know, my lights lately are bugging me. I'm going to just change something here, you guys. Let me just do that. Let's see if that's better, because I think that's better. That corner was really bugging me. So I'm just going to fix one more, because there's always, it seems like, a little bit of light in the corner that's a little bit not light. Not light. Shadow. That's what I mean. There's light that's not light. How about shadow? That's another way to say it. Okay, I think we are good. Janice said, hi, glad your voice is better. Oh, yes. Thank you, Janice. Thank you. Yes, I think it'll probably get a little bit strained as we continue, but it's all good. All right, friends. So, couple things that I want to show you very quickly, and I will show them. Well, let me just show you guys a couple things really quickly, because there are some products, excuse me, that I am going to be using over the next couple weeks, and they are on Black Friday right now. So I wanted to make sure that you had a chance to see those. I'll be using a few of them today, but then I will also be using them over the course of the next couple of weeks. So first one is this guy. And this. So this is, I think I call it a Santa Traveler's Notebook Bundle. So those really fun puffy stickers that are numbers, these are great either for numbering your lists, or for those of you that do December dailies, great for numbering your days on December daily. You have a pack of 8 papers, double-sided, and these are Traveler's Notebook size, so very holiday oriented. You have 2 sheets each, but because they're double-sided, then you basically have all of those fun patterns, like so. So just really good basics to have as you are making your list for the holidays. And then that sheet of puffies, those really great basic red puffy stickers. So that's the Santa, I think that's called Santa Traveler's Notebook Bundle. That is linked today in the what I'm using, but you'll also find that on the Black Friday sale. Then we have another one. Here we go. Deborah, I'm going to talk about your question, Deborah, in one sec, okay? But I would love it if you guys pipe in as well. All right, so again, you have 2 sheets each of 8 different designs, but double-sided. Oh, I love that one. So, and this one is fun because you don't have a lot of, well, it's not that you don't have a lot of, you don't have any red in this one. So this is different color palette. Well, not really different. It still has the green in it, but I love that color palette. So that one, you also have 2 different rolls of washi. There is a Christmas tree washi and then a nice kind of buffalo black gingham check, whatever that is. And then The next two I'll be using today. Well, let me show you one more thing. And then the next two I'll be using today. Oh, now I need someone to come pick up all that for me. Too bad I couldn't convince Jack to stay and pick up all that for me. Shirley said newbie here, viewing from BC, Canada. Hi, Shirley. So nice of you to join us, and welcome, welcome, welcome. The other thing, you guys, some stencils, so star stencil, and then kind of retro star stencil. So we'll be using these with some inks and a foam blending tool over the next couple of weeks as well. All right, now, I think the other two I'll wait and show when I get to start using them. How about that? Okay, so our first list for today is actually, let me back up a second and let's look at our list from last week. And actually, this will work really well into Deborah's question. So, one of our lists from last week was about last month. And if you are new to what I do here on Saturdays and my method of memory keeping, well, my method of memory keeping is listing. That's my primary. I still do some other things, but my primary method of memory keeping is listing. And this is one of the lists that I've been doing now about the last 2.5 years. And it is called About Last Month. So about last month, sorry guys, I keep moving that. I'm trying to get that in the frame and I'm a little bit delayed. So my view is a little bit delayed. You can see it's a little off. Come on. And then by the time I think I have it in the right place, it's moved. Anyhow, so I do a list called About Last Month. And for the year, it always has the same format. So this is the format for 2022. I use my stamp set called About Last Month that I have on my website. And I always use a little grid up there, do my run-on list, have a 5x7 photo that has small photos, and then I do a little bit of decorating. So Deborah asked, does anybody have a good site to use to assemble events for the About Last Month list? I know Layle writes hers down throughout the month, but I know I'll never remember to do that. So Deborah, my About Last Month, the way I do my About Last Month is that they're pretty much things that happen in my life. When we do in the news, and in the news will be the list that we'll kick off with today. When we do in the news, I pull that from all different kinds of places. So I'll talk about the in the news site and keeping track of the in the news side and keeping track of those type of topics later. When we hit that list. But for this one, basically, I'm doing a bunch of things. Number one, I take lots of photos. I take photos, because once the event has happened or whatever it is, if you don't have a photo of it, then it's hard to go back and get the photo, right? So I take thousands of photos. I never use them all, but I have them in case I need them. So that's part of what I gather when it throughout the month for this particular list. I take lots of photos, and I also go back to my calendar to see what has happened. But that's pretty much those two things. It's the photos that I've taken and then my calendar. That is what I use then to compile my list. So that's for About Last Month. And that was our first list that we did last week. Our second list that we did last week was things I'm looking forward to this Christmas. And this is when we used products from Mix and a Mingle. I love, love, love Mix and a Mingle. This collection has just spoke to me so much. So I used it for this spread, and this spread was things I'm looking forward to this Christmas. I had mentioned last week that I'll continue to use Mix and Mingle. I'll kind of mix that in, if you will, over the next month in our list. So we had a lot of fun doing this one as well. Our third list that we had planned for last week was in the news, but I was not feeling well and my voice was just shot, and you guys were very good. You guys are like, stop right now. You need to be done. Go to bed and relax. So I did. So that's the first list we're going to start out with today. Now, when it comes to in the news, the way that I keep track of all the information that could even possibly go on my list for the month, excuse me, that I, hang on, sorry, I still have some lingering, and I am going to, have a quick sip of water here. So, one of my parts of my routine is every morning I watch the Today Show. I like the Today Show. And as things come up on that, then I have an ongoing, and literally it's for the entire year. I have one note on my phone, Deborah, and on that note on my phone, that's where I put all the about last month things, and that's where I put all the in the news things. So if I'm watching the Today Show and something comes up, like Mackenzie Scott donated $48.5 million to the Girl Scouts, I went, oh, that's cool. And I just put it right on my list. I subscribe to a couple of different news services in my emails. And I've always done this. This is long before I started doing in the news, but I subscribe to a couple of different services in my emails. And when those come through and I'm like, oh, look at some activists threw cans of tomato soup at one of the Van Gogh paintings. I'm like, oh, okay. And that, all I did was copy and paste, and in it goes to that list. So that is how I do it. And I think there's lots of different ways that people could do that. Lots of different ways that you could do that, but that's how I do it. Nick, oh yes, there's Nick. Hi, honey. Nick said, every morning I make her coffee in bed while she watches the Today Show. That is 100% true. It is 100% true. Nick makes me coffee and brings it to me in bed every morning. So Deborah, here's the thing. You can, and I will tell you, any of the national news programs do it, whether it be CNN or whether it be Fox, whether it be MSNBC. There is one that I used to subscribe to, and I can't remember now what it's called. That was not a particular news source. So really, if you go to any of those websites, they would have like a daily or a weekly email that they would send you. And I won't tell you which one that I get, because then we'd be getting a little bit more into my own political beliefs, and that I don't want to do, right? But yes, all of those news programs will have something like that. Let's see. Oh yes, honey, I was sharing your the issues in the with the sink, but Terry's also right. Yes. So Jack was very instrumental. The turkey, oh my goodness, it was unbelievable, off the hook. It was so good. So good. Yes, Jack did a lot of cooking yesterday. A lot. So we always love it when he comes to town. Oh, look at that. Julie said, I love Katie Couric Media. So yeah, I think, Deborah, maybe as people continue to maybe pop things in the chat, just you guys remember, as you pop things in the chat, the sink is fixed. Oh my goodness. Okay, honey, you'll have to tell me when I'm done what that took. The sink is fixed. Lovely. I love it. You guys, when you know it, I haven't coughed all morning. I have not coughed all morning, and now it's going to crop up, but that's all right. Okay, so that is that's a little bit behind the whole concept of in the news. But if I pull way back, like to the 50,000 foot level, when I first started doing About last month, right? Remember that? When I first started doing About last month, this was a combination of things that happened in my life, in my family's life, and things like that. And then also I was trying to shove in there all the in the news stuff. And it was just too much. It was way too much. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a separate list every month for in the news. So let's see what we have here. Let's see if we should have at least one in the news here, shouldn't we? Hopefully it's finished. Because sometimes my lists don't get finished. Oh, there we go. So this was in the news for September. And I'll be doing in the news right now for October. Nick, can you bring your beloved a warm cup of lemon water? Oh, that sounds fantastic. But anyhow, so when I do in the news, I'm using my in the news stamp set, and then I am using some photos. And these are just random photos I pick off of the internet based on the things that I'm having on my list. Linda May, hi Linda May, quick chicken from the mountains. You're not home then. You're not home, right? Oh, whiskey. Yeah, no hot whiskey. Bah. Although it'd be interesting to see what would happen if I needed to have a little bit of whiskey. Okay, so Trisha, Scrapbook Sister, said, I get my in the news from the Week magazine online. So you know what maybe I'll do, you guys? Maybe what I'll do is I will start a thread in the Facebook group when we are done. So let me just add this to this list. Thread FFB group for in the news sources. I love that idea. I mean, not that idea. I mean, I love that Deborah, that you asked that question. So I will do that. I'll start a thread in the Facebook group, and then you guys, if you have places that you go to source your news, that would be great. Well, just remember, we're leaving it all totally apolitical, so we won't get in any political discussions in the Facebook group or on the lives, right? Because we can get that at all kinds of other places. We don't need to get that here. Okay, so in the news. So last week I had printed out my photo. And my photo is for in the news. I always do it on a 5x7. This is a, oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so sorry. Wow. Oh goodness, sorry. That's what happens when you try to stop yourself from coughing. Oh, okay. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you, friend. Finally getting all the lights on your pre-lit tree to work. Okay. Karen said she usually just Google stuff or go to Yahoo's homepage and browse the story titles. That works too, absolutely. Okay, so 5x7 photo. Once I have my list and I know all the things on my list, I don't do photos for everything. So sometimes my list is longer than I have photos. And then I just go to Google and like for this one, Taylor Swift in October released her newest album, which was called Midnights. And so I Googled Taylor Swift Midnights and found a number of photos and thought, well, that's one. I like that one. That's great. I save it to my camera roll. And then when I'm ready to print out the photo, I use the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. You'll find that linked in the description box of the video. I don't sell that, but that's just the one I use. I print a 5x7 and I use that Epson Creative Print app on my phone, and it lets me do this. The Epson Creative Print app has pre-configured templates just like this. Lots of pre-configured templates, and you pull up a template and you say, that's the one I want, and then you basically, super easy, you just touch the boxes and bring in the photos from your phone, and that's what we have. So that is what I did last week. Then this morning, as I started thinking about different product that I might want to use on this list, I printed it again. I printed it again in black and white because I thought, you know what? A lot of times what I find, and this is so interesting, a lot of the photos in the news always have that same blue. Okay, so the same blue. Look at this last one. Look at lots of blue, right? Lots and lots and lots of blue. So I'm like, I really feel like I would not like as much blue. So I thought, I'm going to try something this week. And I changed it to black and white. So that is what I'm going to do. Today I'm going to use a black and white photo, and then I can kind of use whatever product I decide I want to use over here. So that is the plan. Hot candy cane lane. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Ginger in the tea. Oh, I love ginger. Yes. That sounds very good. All right, so what I need to do first to start out, I need to trim my photo. And let's talk about that for 1 second as I get my fan, because I have a sweater on and it's hot. Under the lights, it is definitely not hot outside. Hot under the lights though. Okay, so this is a 5x7 photo. And, oh, Denise, I didn't even think about that, Denise. That's a great point. Denise said, love the black and white. It seems more like the newspaper. It totally does. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. So there we go. So this is a 5x7 photo. The Traveler's Notebook size inserts that I use are called standard wide. They are 8.25 by 5. These also on my website. Pretty much everything you guys will see me use on my website available. But if this is 5 and this is 5, you would think, well, that should fit right there. Well, yes and no. The reason I need to trim it down a little bit is because even though this piece of paper, the spread, is 10, you lose a little bit from the staples in the center. So I need to trim that down just a little bit. I mention that every time I do that because I always get questions. Well, wait a minute. Why did you have to trim that? So there we go. That's why I have to trim it, because we lose just a little bit of the width from, and regardless of what type of insert you're using, it may even be, you might be using an insert that's stitched in the center. Even if it's stitched in the center, you're losing a little bit of that width because of the binding or the stitching or the stapling or whatever it is in the center. I have 2 videos on my list of things to do that will probably happen a week after next. And I have been promising to do those for quite some time. One is the video on kind of all the ins and outs of that Epson Creative printer, or excuse me, Epson PM400 printer, but really it's mostly the ins and outs and all the cool things that you can do with the app. So video coming on that, and then also video coming on how I how I kind of deconstruct and reconstruct my inserts once they are done and put new covers on them. So just know both those videos are coming, hopefully week after next. Sue's Creative, hello. Sue's Creative said a bit late to the party, but hi from Holland. Hi, Sue's Creative from Holland. Nice to have you here with us. All right, so there we go. There is my photo. This one also, this is just a little side note. You'll notice this one has a different finish to it. This is on a glossy. This is on a matte. I printed this on a matte photo paper. So that's just happened to be there when I grabbed it. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere this. Look at, I'm officially halfway done through this insert because we're at the staples. I can see the staples. All righty, there we go. And now for this side. So we'll do a little bit more decorating over here in a second, but I'm going to move to this side. I need my, let's get this out of the way for a sec. I need my In the News stamp set because that is generally what I use when I am doing my In the News list. That is why I designed that In the News stamp set, available on my website. So I am getting a couple tools out. One thing that I'm getting out that was out of stock, that is now in stock. In fact, they're arriving today. Again, my reorder, many reorders of these at this point, but is a pencil board. Terry said, does anyone else just love the sound of the big red adhesive gun? I do, Terry, especially when you put in a brand new refill. Then I love it. It feels so good, just like butter. All right, so I'm going to be stamping here. And when you were stamping in a traveler's notebook, let's see, Carolyn just asked a question. What size pocket is the envelope you're keeping your stamp in? This is, let me grab a bigger ruler here, Carolyn, and I will tell you. It is 6 by 8. 6 by 8 3/4. Envelopes or storage items for my stamp sets. The larger ones are from scrapbook.com. I have lots of my storage things linked in the description box of the video down below. But I also have, and these will be here probably later this week. I'll just show you real quick. These guys, I'm so excited. I've been trying to find these for a while, and I finally found some place where I could buy them. And then have them on my website. But these guys, these are 4x6 little clear plastic, nice, really heavy duty, thick plastic envelopes. And that is what I store all of my 4x6 stamps in. So you'll see those later this week on the website. In fact, I should probably put them up today since they'll be later this week. So if you want those and you're placing an order, just watch for those a little bit later today. All right. Let me go back to, back to stamping. So when I am stamping, one of the most important things when you are stamping is to have a nice, flat, hard surface, right? If you want to set yourself up for success, if you have a nice, flat, hard surface, that is one of the factors that's going to give you a really nice stamped impression. Now, when we're working in a traveler's notebook, that brings a little bit of an issue, or it can bring an issue, right? Because if I am stamping on this page, which is what I'm about to do, I don't necessarily have a nice hard surface because I can't take this page out, right? This is in my book, it's connected. So I need to stamp right here. And if I'm stamping right here, that means I'm stamping on all of this. Hi, Cindy, nice to see you. I'm stamping on all of this, right? So there is a tool that I had manufactured for us. There's a tool called a pencil board. So a pencil board is nothing that I invented, but the concept of a pencil board is a flat hard surface that you can place underneath something that you are trying to stamp or write on. So when I slide that pencil board under my page in my insert, I now have that nice flat hard surface to stamp on. These, like I said, were out of stock. They are back. They're linked in the what I'm using link on the description box of the video. So they come this way. They are, it's acrylic. So everything there is etched on the back side. So you have all your little grooves of where the etching happened. And that's where the white is created when something gets etched. This is 5 by 8 1/4. So I designed it that size because now it's perfect for our traveler's notebook inserts. It's really nice, thick plastic or acrylic. So it's 1/8 inch thick. Those of you guys that have my rulers, my 0 centering rulers, same exact width. Rounded corners, because guess what? We need to have rounded corners because we don't want to rip things when we're sliding that under our page. But then the other thing that I did when I had them made, I had them add the grids to the back. Because the grid on the back, now you could also use this as a large stamping block. So some of our larger stamps, like the library card, if you don't have a large size stamping block or a stamping platform, then you have this that could also double as a stamping block. And you have those grids to help line things up. Let's see. Rena said, OMG, I love, love, love my pencil board. It's now kept in my A5 planner's pocket. I've been stamping just so I can use it. Makes writing near the spiral so easy. And Rena, there's another great thing, right? If you have a planner that you can't necessarily, well, even then, actually, I think what Rena is saying, if this is her planner, this is just my workbook, and she's trying to write all the way in here. I think that's what you're saying, Rena, right? That you're putting your pencil board there so you're able to write a little bit easier, right? I think so. Let's see, Deborah, Layle, how well does the pencil board work if the page you're going to work on is something dimensional, like a puffy sticker on the reverse side? So, Deborah, that's a great point, right? It actually still works. It still works really well. What we're going to see is right here, I have a couple puffy stickers on the back side. Right here. So we'll see what happens. It may cause a little bit of a problem. You guys know that I generally don't use enamel dots in my inserts. I don't use chipboard in my inserts because they're just too thick. They're going to cause, I think, too many problems. But we'll see what happens right here. When it's over here, it definitely solves the problem. But we're going to see right here what's going to happen. It'll make it better. It may not completely fix it 100%. Oh, and Debbie said she just ordered one. Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys. So I am going to start out by stamping my typewriter. I know what the name of that is. All right. So let me get my stamping blocks out here. Let's see. Is this... Will it fit on this guy? These are my nested stamping blocks that I have available. There's a set of 4, and you have those different sizes. So I love that they're all together in that one little package, but you have all of the same sizes, or not same sizes. You have the variation in sizes. So this one I want to put right here. Oh, you know what? So I'm going to show you guys something. I was teaching at a virtual event last weekend, the Crop and Create Delivered. And Kathy Zulski was teaching a class. And we've kind of talked a little bit about doing something like this before. But when she showed it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's totally a reason to do that. I have just, instead of placing my stamp on the stamping block, I have just laid it down, and I've laid it, the stamping side down, right? I've laid that down, and then I can take my my stamping block and I can position it exactly where I want it to pick that up. All right, so now it's in the exact spot that I want it. So sometimes it's easier to do that than to try to put the stamp on the block itself. Now, what you may have noticed there, on this guy, I have put my stamp more kind of justified over to the right. So it's on the right side. The reason I did that is because when I stamp over here, In fact, I might, no, it will be good. When I stamp over here, I don't want this part of that block coming over here because then it's going to get all like scawampus and get in the way of a successful stamp. So when you are stamping in a traveler's notebook or stamping in something that you can't take the page out of, you want to be thinking about what's going to happen when you stamp, and you don't want to have things on this side interfering. Hopefully that makes sense. But if I do that here, I am good. I'll be good to go. All right, so now I'm going to do black, and I'm going to move this out of the way for a second because I always recommend that you do a test stamp first, okay? Oh, I'll talk about why mine are a different color in a second. You always want to do a test stamp first. The reason you want to do that, number one, you want to make sure you have the ink applied nice and evenly. If you're testing a color and you're not sure if that's the color you want to use, well, then you definitely want to, actually, you know what? I don't want to use black here. I'm not going to use black here. I am, for this list, the reason that I went to black and white, I wanted to pull out, and I'm going to actually use Harvest Market a couple times today. So, instead of doing black, because there's really not a lot of black in this collection, right? I want to do, let's see, I'm thinking maybe, I'm going to bring in a little bit of color here. So let's start with this. Let's look at maybe if I bring in, see, I'm bringing in some washi. This again is Harvest Market. It is linked in the description box of the video. There is a link that says what I'm using. That will take you to a link on my website of most of the product, pretty much everything that I'm using that's available on my website in our list today. So you'll see the link to all of the, for example, in this case, the Harvest Market products. So there we go. I'm using a little bit of that washi. And I think we'll use a little bit of this here. I don't know. I always felt like in the news, I always felt like it was always the same colors. And it felt weird trying to use different colors with it. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to use whatever I want. It doesn't have to always look like very newsy or always have those weird dark colors. I think I've got a double layer of washi there. There is. Okay. All right, so now we're going to soften all this up a little bit. And that was part of the way that going away from that colored photo, it then lets me use whatever colors I want. So I looked and I did not see a way to change the colors of your photos in that Epson Creative Print app. So I just changed the colors on my, on my phone, of the photos on my phone, and then printed that whole thing in black and white. All right, so there we go. Now I have that. So maybe let me look really quick at some of the other colors I think I might want to use here. I'm not sure, because I had an idea, but now I don't know if that idea is really gonna pan out. So let me look. Let's just look at some of the things. I wonder, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use that little hello. I'll use that little hello right up there. That is one of the die cuts. I think I want to say that's probably from the journaling bits. I'm going to come back in with just one of my glue pen just to get in a couple of those spots that are a little hard to reach with my tape gun. So we'll put that there, kind of a little bit of an angle. And then my in the news, I'll stamp up here, right there, maybe. Yeah, sure, why not? And then we'll do typewriter down here, and then I'll have some space in there. Okay, so now back to, what if we do that color? maybe if we do kind of that peachy color, I know what color that is. I'm going to bring out, hi, Michelle Parker. It's been a while. Michelle said, good morning, good afternoon. It's been a while since I've been able to watch live. Well, I'm glad that you joined us. And Dawn said, morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late, had a morning nap. Dawn, of all the people that deserve a morning nap, it's you. I hope you are feeling okay and hanging in there. Britta said, I popped in to say hi from Amsterdam, heading on a river cruise with my mom. We'll watch the replay. Britta, that sounds amazing. Good for you. Enjoy that time with your mom. All right, so, let me explain what I have here. These are all of my Distress Oxides ink that I have swatched, and I use my Swatch This Inks stamp set that you'll find on my website, but I have used that to swatch all of my ink. So for example, when I am looking for a color, like maybe that color, I can pull out just my swatched inks and look for what I need. Tattered Rose. Tattered Rose is probably pretty close. I think anything else is going to be too pinky. The only other one I'm looking for is, where is it though? It's the, where's that? Where? You guys know which one it is. It's the peachy colored one. But where is it? Oh, Saltwater Taffy. No. Saltwater Taffy, I was really hoping when that came out that was more of a peachy color, but it's definitely a pink. So Tattered Rose, I think it might be. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Tattered Rose, I know this color very well. I know sometimes I turn my back on you guys. I know sometimes that stamp's very light, so it might not work. I mean, it'll work, but it might not be what we're looking for, right? Might not be what we're looking for. So I'm going to try Tattered Rose, but this is a good example of when you want to test first. So now we're back to that. Now we're back to testing first. And when we do that, I just have a little notebook that I just continue to test in. But always a good idea. You can test color, you can test placement, you can make sure that things are straight on your stamping block. You can, if you're spelling a word, you can make sure, double, triple check to make sure that it's spelled correctly. The other reason that you would do a test stamp first, if you have a brand new stamp, you always want to prime your stamp before you use it. There's a couple ways to do that. I generally just stamp with it, and that a couple times, and that gets it primed. The reason why you want to prime your stamp when it's brand new is that your photopolymer stamps have a very thin coating on them. You can't see it. It's invisible to the eye, but they have a very thin coating. So if you've ever stamped with a brand new stamp on your project and it just doesn't look right, it looks kind of weird and doesn't have a very good stamped image, generally that is because your stamp has not been primed. So I will stamp a couple times with it first. That will prime it. You could also take a clean eraser and just rub it across the surface of that photopolymer stamp. That would also prime it for you, but always a good idea to prime. All right, so here we go. There is our ruler. There is our, oh, I like it. I think I like that. So it's pretty faint, right? It is pretty faint, but I think we're gonna run with it. So I know I'm going to like where that is. I like the color. I need to grab my pencil board. I have 3 now because every time, one of these days, maybe next week, I'll give one of them away. I mentioned they come white because that's what happens when you etch. But I like to paint mine because then you can see them really well. Like, look at that. You can totally see that. If I'm trying to use it to line up my stamps, I can see that. That one I just painted navy. And all I did was you take a little bit of acrylic paint. Cheap acrylic paint. Doesn't have to be fancy. You put a little bit on the back, do your finger painting, and then wipe it off right away while it's still wet. You wipe it off right away while it's still wet. That paint sits in all those little etched areas and then wipes right off the flat part. So there we go. So I need my pencil board. We're going to put my pencil board right here. I really need like 8 more project trays because I'm feeling very squished over here, but that's all right. I can deal with the squish. I have to deal with the squish because it's there. I need to re-ink again because it's been sitting for a bit, but also I pretty much stamped off all the color, right? You'll notice I am applying my ink to the stamp. So I am ink to the stamp as opposed to stamp to the ink. That's my personal preference. I think it just gives you a lot more control if you are applying ink to the stamp. So there we go. Get that nice and inked up. And we're off to the races. So here we go. Move this over here. I'd like this to be about right here. That looks pretty centered-ish, and we're going in. Now, when I'm stamping, I need to stamp with intention, right? I can't be wishy-washy. I really need to go in, and I need to be very firm. I don't want to rock my stamping block. If I have a stamping block, I don't want to rock back and forth, because as you rock back and forth, you are applying uneven pressure to that stamp. So part of the stamp will end up flattening. And when it flattens, it's going to spread out the ink. So nice even pressure. And let's see what we get here. This is when we cross our fingers. Oh, you know what? I don't think. Oh no, I'm good. I didn't think that I got my pencil board enough over here, but I can see I did. So I think we're good. Let's see, here we go. All right. So someone asked a question earlier. What happens if you had something bumpy on the back? Guess what? I had that puffy sticker on the back side. So that's what happened. I didn't get my nice impression because that puffy sticker lifted. So my stamping block could not get that area really uneven around it, right? And that makes sense because it got it fine in the center because that's where it was able to hit that low point. But then all the way around it had a high point. So that high point all the way around it could not get that stamp. So here's the deal. I could, and I can see that here too. Look you see that center? That center is where on the back side that heart was. But then that left I guess a high point. So everything else around it could not get stamped. So let's talk about how we could fix that. What I should have done before, I could have either pulled that off, okay? I could have pulled that off and then stamped and then put that back on. I could have looked at all of this and said, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't try to stamp here. Maybe for this one, I should put my photo over here and my list over here because I have something lumpy bumpy on the back. Or I could have just said, you know what? I'm going to skip the spread. I'll do something else here where I'm not stamping and then try to come back. So if I was using a stamping platform, now you can't really use a stamping platform with your traveler's notebook because you can't really get it in there. What I could try to do, and this generally doesn't work, but you know what? Let's try it. Let's just see what happens. Let's see if we can. We're probably going to make a giant mess here. And if we make a giant mess, then I'll show you how we're going to fix all of it. Easy peasy. So I'm going to see if I can try to get, let's see what happens. I still have some ink on there. Yep. And then Ms. L. Yep. That's when you last resort. Last resort is what Miss L said. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. Let's see what happens, friends. We shall see. We'll cross our fingers, right? We shall see. Look at it. Okay. It worked. I mean, it worked pretty well, right? It worked pretty well. So I was able to fix that. Now, I just want to reiterate again, the reason that happened and I had really splotchy was because I had that puffy sticker on the back side. That puffy sticker was right there. See what happened when I took the puffy sticker off? Then it was fine. So pencil board in both cases definitely helped. And I definitely, in that case, wanted to have my pencil board there again because look what would have happened. Over here, I had those puffies. So you just kind of have to be aware of what you're doing. Doesn't mean that you can't use things that have dimension in your traveler's notebooks. You just need to be aware of how they're going to affect what comes after it, like what came after it in that place. But we recovered okay. We recovered all right. Okay, so now I think what I'll do is I will, going to, I need to add my title here, right? I need to add my title, and I will be writing in black ink. So I think what I'm going to do now is start to pull in the black. I'll add in the news in black, and then I'll start writing my list. But one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the month here. The month is October. So I am going to pull one of my stamps from the About Last Month set. About Last Month set. I will tell you guys, this About Last Month set, I have reordered throughout the year. It is the set that I used for my 2022. It's what I'm using for my 2022 when I do About Last Month. I am down to my last 10 of these, okay? My last 10 of these. So after this, they are done. After this, they're done. So if you've been waiting to get these, there's only 10 left, and I won't be bringing them back in because the 2023 brand new set will be coming in. All right, one other quick thing that Terry just said, and this is an important thing to consider also. When you're stamping, when I am ready to when I'm ready to stamp in the news in black, I need to be thinking about something. What happened on the page before? When I stamp dark, a lot of times it is going to shadow or ghost on the back side. So before I want to do my dark stamping, I should turn the page and go, oh, I'm okay here because I built my list on top of the page. So I'm good there. Here's a prime example of that. Black was very dark when I did my About Last Month. That orange also very dark. So on the back side, look what happens. See all of that ghosting and shadowing? And the Carpe Diem inserts, you guys, are really nice quality, but sometimes there's nothing that you can do to prevent that. So when I'm ready to fill in this page with a list, I will build my list on top of the page. So I'll use pattern paper, put it on top, build my list so you'll never see that. So just some things to think about when you are stamping in a traveler's notebook or stamping in a planner or something like that, where your pages you can't necessarily take out, and then also when you could be really affected by what happens before. So always, always, always double check what's happened before in terms of your dimension, and then also if any stamping that you're going to do is going to impact the list or whatever you already wrote there. All right, so now I pulled October. October, I think I will just stamp right here like that in black, and then I will do in the news right here. So let's put this guy back on its stamp set, and let's grab October. And I need a smaller block, right? Now, you don't have to have different size stamping blocks. Absolutely, it makes your life easier, but you don't have to. If you don't have different size stamping blocks, obviously, it's your lowest common denominator. You need the biggest stamping block for your biggest stamp, and then you work something like this with all. I think it's much better to have multiple sizes, because when you start to get to something small like this, you can use this, but then it's just a lot bigger than you need, and then you're kind of working with something that's kind of too big for what you need. Not as easy to move and not as easy to balance and center and so forth. Okay, so here we go. Now, let's double check. Look it. Let's pull that off. Let's pull that little heart off. Let's learn our lesson from the last time. Although I love it when things like that happen, you guys, because I think they're great learning opportunities, and they're learning opportunities for all of us. They really are. They're learning opportunities for all of us, because then I can have something like that happen and we can talk through and share ideas, because a lot of times that's what we're doing. We're sharing ideas. You guys will be like, oh, wait a minute, try this or try that. Oh, yes, what Ms. L said, and let me circle back to that. She said, or you could stamp on another piece of paper, fussy cut it out, and glue it on top. Exactly. So if I couldn't get that right, I could still try, and then if I couldn't get it right, you know what I'd do? Stamp that exact same thing again on a piece of white cardstock, fussy cut it out, and put it right there. Worst comes to worst, take a piece of white cardstock, put it on top of there, and start all over again. So there's not much that we can't figure out a way to fix in one way or the other, right? Terry, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. All right. Hello, October. because these are some of the news things that happened for October. And again, I got my pencil board. That's important. I want to make sure I have that there. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer to me just so I can see where I am stamping. Oh, guess what? Always, always, always. Let's be safe. Let's be safe. Let me stamp that. Okay, we're good. It's good. I'll just need to add a little bit more ink to it. Too many things here. Too many things in the way. I promise you, you will never regret testing. You will never regret testing. It's like it's like measure twice, cut once, right? It's like measure twice, cut once. You're not going to regret that. All right. Here we go again. Pencil board in place. Get this lined up. I'd like it to go right there. And there we go. One thing to be aware of, and I know I'm okay on these, when you are stamping on embellishments, like I'm stamping on die cuts here, those are matte. All right. The Simple Stories die cuts have a matte finish to them. So you want to make sure that you're not stamping on like a glossy finish of something. If you do that, you can do that, but you need to have the right kind of stamping ink to do that. Generally, I don't do that. I think you can use, and I don't use it because I'm not a fan. It's just me. I'm not a fan of it, but you could use StazOn ink. StazOn is designed for stamping on different surfaces, and that could, I won't say will, but it could work for you. What I would do in that case, if I was using my stamps are always so dirty, but that's okay. If I wanted to stamp on a glossy finish, I'd probably find a little piece in that pack. Let's say there were die cuts. I'd find a piece in that pack that maybe I didn't particularly care for, and I would try to test stamp on that. So I would know what I was going to get before I ruined something, and I didn't have another one to work with. All right, so there we go. Now let's stamp with, that goes in this guy. Oopsie. That goes right there. I just lost my 2022. I know, do you believe that, you guys? Oh my gosh. It is almost December, which is craziness. Do you believe that? Craziness. Let's see. Hi, Marilee. Good morning. Slept in after chatting, laughing with my girls till 3:30, and I loved it. Good for you. I'm so glad, Marilee. That's nice. Your girls are home from college, so how nice of you to have time with them. And sometimes, you got to take advantage. When you have family home or friends in town, or, you've been able to get together with people, got to take advantage, even if sometimes it's staying up late. Then just got to do it. And then the next day you pay for it. But you know what? You pay for it and it's worth it. Oh my gosh, I'm a ding-a-ling. Got to put that the other way. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. So my in the news will go right here. Oh, I need to. Oh, not yet. I will put, I'll put that little dot back as soon as we're done. All right. In the news. Oh, actually, what if we did that? What if I did that right there? I never noticed. Look at that, fits like right there in the typewriter. I think I'm going to do that. And then I'll just write all my in the news stuff up there. How about if we do that? Sure, let's mix it up today. Oh, and here's a nice thing, you guys, about doing your test stamping first. Look at, I already have it right here, so I can try to see what it looks like to see if I might like it there. Or not like it there. Karen said, make sure you hit the like button. Don't actually just hit it because oh no. Yes, you guys, like button. That's so important. And you know what, when we talk about like Small Business Saturday and we talk about supporting small businesses, even if you can't shop, there are lots of ways to support small businesses without having to spend money. Sharing with your friends. Like maybe you have a local florist like that you like to go to. Oh yes, thank you, Deborah. I'll take it off. You're so right. Maybe you have a local florist that you like to get flowers from. And you just don't have it in your budget right now to get flowers. Well, guess what? Share with your friends. Tell your friends because maybe they do. So sharing is awesome. Sharing with your friends. I think that'll be a fun place to put it. But like as Deborah said, let's take off that Puffy sticker again, because I put it back and it would still cause a problem. There we go. Hitting the like button, leaving a comment. Those are great way to support small businesses without having to spend money. So share it with a friend, hit the like button, leave a comment. Those things are super important. They're super important to small businesses like me. So yes, yes, yes. Repost even. Let's say you're on Facebook and your local pet shop is posting something. Reshare their post, right? That takes nothing. That costs nothing and can be such a great way to support. All right. So here we are. We're going right here. I'm going to put that right there. There we go, in the news. It's funny, I've never done that before. All right, never put it there before. All right, let's go ahead and put this back on the other side. That's good for now. I'm actually probably, no, I'll be okay. I'll be okay to put this guy on. I'm not writing where that little I is, so the dot on the I, so we'll be okay. All right, there we go. So now let me just clean this one really quick. I know, take the Puffy sticker off first. I know, take it off, take it off, take it off, right? Again, that's just a good, always check. Double check to see what's happening on the backside before you do anything, because you don't want to ruin it. And guess what? If you do, no use crying over spilt milk. Make a new page, just stick it right on top. Stick it right on top, that works. All right, so I think we are good there. This is a totally different in the news. Looks totally different than I normally do, but that's good. Sometimes it's good to shake it up a bit. Just shake it up a bit. All right, so tell me, you guys, this weekend. What? Tell me what's on your plate for this weekend. Plate. I don't know, it could mean really your plate, like leftovers. Oh, like guess what's for lunch today? Leftover turkey sandwich. Oh, on like white bread. And that's the way you have, well, in my house, that's the way you have to do it. We eat, Nick and I eat very little bread. And when we eat bread, it's not white. Nothing against white bread or eating bread, but we just don't. So guess what? If you can't eat like white bread, like squishy white bread, Grandma Sycamore's bread on Thanksgiving as a leftover with mayonnaise and turkey and stuffing and loads of cranberry sauce, Ms. L just said it. I love leftover turkey sandwiches and white bread. It is the best. It absolutely is. Okay, now it's time for my list. So, what I do before we start on a Saturday, it could happen earlier in the week or it will happen Saturday morning, just depends on what's happening in my world. I sit down. Let me put this on the back here just so, let me get this put away. I sit down in my handy dandy workbook. And I write out what that list is. Okay, I write out what the list is because I need to know what they are. Now, if you have a workbook or you don't have a workbook, maybe you just have a other spare traveler's notebook that you're just jotting things down in throughout the month. When I sit down to list, I have to have all of this already ready to go on Saturday because I can't remember in my head what all the things were. So now I start referring to my handy dandy notebook. These guys, the handy dandy notebooks, I have a little bit of a different version for you. It just has some, like I need to know winners and things like that. You guys don't need to know that, but there's a version that is available on my website, both a printed spiral bound version of the workbook or a downloadable version of the workbook that you can purchase if you want a workbook to help you kind of get your list ready and ideas and things like that. All right, so things that happened in the news. Now, I have 8. That's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 photos. So I am just going to write things, and some of them may not be in the photos. There may be other things. So I'm going to start. But Gerda said she has to make 27 Christmas cards for Scrapbooking Sisters Christmas party. Fun. Karen is shopping Bath and Body Works Mist, so she'll be shopping for that today and tomorrow. and watching some football. Nancy is cleaning her backyard, putting the awning and deck furniture away before it snows again, doing some Christmas crafting. Julie sounds like she's making turkey pizzoli soup. Yes. One of Debbie's daughters in town, so they're putting up the trees and hitting the wineries. Yes, I love it. Debbie, I was talking to Laura and Mare and Diane when I was at Three Craft Chicks. They were telling me all about the wineries, and they are very much trying to convince me to come up there. And I very much want to come up there and hit the wineries with you guys. Okay, so in no particular order, the things that happened in the news last month. Hurricane Ian. Oh my heavens! Right, that was a big one. Hurricane Ian. Lots of devastation. Taylor Swift released a new album, Midnights. Now, in this list, I am refraining from talking about any of the records that she set with the release of that album, because those records actually happened in November. So she will be on my list again in November relating to her new album, because she broke some major records. That woman is quite talented. So climate protesters threw cans of tomato soup at a Van Gogh painting. And you know what? I mean, everybody has the right to protest, right? That's part of that. Well, at least in the US, that's part of our country. That's part of our rights. You can protest. But as soon as you're protesting and you are doing things like that, that's where I draw the line. That's not okay, right? That's not okay, because that is yeah, just not okay. Now, it was not harmed because at least that one, there were others that followed suit, and then they glued themselves to the wall, I think, in that museum. But there's protective coating, plexiglass, probably over the painting. So, but still, very sad. Let's see. Okay, so now this is where, and as I'm starting to write things on my list, I always like to mention when we get to in the news. There are, because it's the news, there are a lot of political things that could be on your list. So I always ask that we refrain in the chat from giving any kind of opinion, although I just did give opinion about protesters, so I probably shouldn't do that. Because everyone has the right to whatever they want to do within reason. But as we start talking about some other things that are on my list, these are purely news items from my perspective. I am not giving any kind of one way or the other, saying that it's positive or negative, but just if you guys would in the chat, let's not, talk about whether something is good or bad, because this next one is very controversial. And on my list, it's just a fact. It is just a fact that happened in October. So, let's see. The student in the US, the student loan relief debt applications, they opened. Now, that was part of the news in October. In November, something changed related to that. So on my November in the news, I will talk about what changed related to that. But just again, it's a fact. It's part of the topic. So that's what I wrote. Another one, Mackenzie Scott. Mackenzie Scott is the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos that owns Amazon. Donated, she donates $84.5 million to the Girl Scouts. All right, we're just continuing down over here. A migrant tent camp opens in New York City. Wait, did I lose you guys for a second? Did I lose you for a second? Look at you, saw my little eye under there. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys. No, I'm good. All right. My mom called. And a while back, Apple did something to their updates. It used to be that if you went on Do Not Disturb, that even your favorites wouldn't pop through. Like could make a phone call, and it came through. So I'm not sure what's going on. All right, so here we go. Migrant tent camp opens up in New York City. Here's another one. And this was not related to the US, but very big news in the UK. The British Prime Minister, Liz Truss, steps down after only 6 weeks. And I'm sure if you are from Europe or from the UK, that was very big news, and that was probably very political and controversial. Let's see. Oh, this is a big one. Okay, this is a big one that's happening here in the US. They called it in October a triple demic. Okay, and that was RSV and the flu and COVID, right? Just lots of sickness going around. Lots of sickness with the triple demic. Kanye West. And this, believe it or not, can be very polarizing. There are some people that are very much in support of him, and some people very much not in support of him. But in October, he had some anti-Semitic statements. And as a result, lost a good portion of his billions in fortune because of his sponsors. Then we also have Elon Musk officially buys Twitter. Now, there's lots more that will go, that's happened in November on the news related to that, but yes. Oh, Denise said my 2-year-old grandson currently in the ICU with RSV. Oh, I'm so very sorry, Denise. That's so tough. So tough. You just feel so badly for them. Sam, our youngest, when he was 3 months old, was in, he was not in ICU, but he was primary children's hospital with RSV. Yeah, for littles, it is just devastating. It's devastating. So I hope that he, lots of positive thoughts for your family, Denise, and your little grandson. All right, then the last one I have is mortgage rates. Mortgage rates topped 7% in the US. And that was the first time since 2022. All right, so there we go. There's my in the news list for October. And that's just a way to capture the different things that are happening month to month in the news. What we'll do at the end of the year, so in January, I will do an in the news for the whole year of 2022. And you know how easy that'll be? That'll be so easy because all I'll have to do is go back to each of my months and pull 1 or 2 things that were big from those months, and then I'll have my whole in the news for the year. That will be really easy to do. So there we go. All right, friends. Oh, you know what I can do if I'd like here? Because I happen to have a 2022 on that same stamp set. If I wanted, I could stamp 2022 right there. So why don't we do that? We'll just bring in a little bit more black since we've got lots of black over here. We'll grab our littlest block here. Littlest block. We'll pop that down. Lift that up like that. Oh my goodness. Am I going to be in the way? I better take that. Heavens. All right. Take it back off again. I should just wait until I'm done with the entire list and then put the little things on. All right. So now let's grab our, again, we're going to come back in and do our little stamp. What have I done with my black ink? Oh, there we go. Here we are. Denise, there we go. Denise said, I am going to devote an entire TN, a traveler's notebook, an entire insert to In the News. Absolutely. Absolutely, you could do that. I know that Denise does that for her About Last Months. I do my About Last Months. They're just intermixed with the rest of my lists. But I know Denise and I know others of you do a specific insert for your About Last Months. And you keep it all together. I also know that some people do an About Last Month, and then the next spread they'll do it in the news, and they'll do About Last Month and in the news. So you can kind of keep one insert going for all of that. So those are good things to just chat about as we're getting towards the start of a new year. In relation to that, my 2023 About Last Month or year in review, really it's the year in review, class kit. So project kit and class will go up for pre-order next month. I'm going to say probably about the middle of the month. I have some custom product that's being designed for that. And so I don't have that yet. We'll say probably middle of the month. There we go, October 2022. That was fun. That was a little bit of a different look than I normally do for my In the News. So I like that. But yes, that project kit and class, we'll do the class probably about the third week in January, just because we'll be getting our Traveler's Notebook kind of set up for our About Last Months, which then would start in February for January. Alrighty, let's move on to our next list, you guys. Our next list, of course, because it's that time of year. It is that time of year. My next list is things I'm thankful for or grateful for, thankful, grateful, whatever it may be. Dawn said, I really like the month on that acorn. I do too, Dawn. I mean, I've loved that acorn ever since that Simple Stories came out with that Harvest Market collection. I've really loved it. And I've kept having it on my tray because I kept thinking I want to use it. And that worked really well there because it was just kind of the perfect spot to put that. All right. Next list, things I am thankful for or grateful for. So yesterday, as things were cooking in the kitchen and we were kind of hanging out, Jack and Kat, Jack's girlfriend, were here, and Nick and we were all hanging out. And I started kind of looking at my list, because that's usually what I do the day before. Okay, what things are going to be on my list? And I came to this one, the thankful, grateful for. And I started thinking, okay, I'll do my list about the things I'm thankful, grateful for. And then I thought, wait a minute, you know what? Why don't I pull in things from other people, other members of my family too? So what I'm doing on this list, because they were there, now Sam and his girlfriend T were not there yet. So they are not part of this list. But it's what the things the four of us were thankful for. So your list don't always have to be you. You could have different people in your family, your friends, your coworkers, whatever it is. Doesn't just have to be you. So my list is going to be a little list for each of us of the things that we are thankful for, because it was kind of fun. We were sitting there and we were watching Princess Bride because love Princess Bride. That's a big thing in our family. And it happened to be on, so we were watching Princess Bride. And I said, so, would you guys be open to this? Because you should always ask, right? Especially me. I always have to ask, because now I'm putting their things out for everyone to see. So, and if they said no, of course I would not do it. But they said yes, that would be fine. So that's what I'm doing. Things that the four of us each are thankful for. So, excuse me, I am going to use Harvest Market again. And I just need to come in and look at, let me grab the 6x8 pad, because I have a 2-page list and I wanted to use the same paper, on both sides. Well, I thought, but now maybe I won't, because that would be fun to do both of those, wouldn't it? To do that one there and that one there. I like those. Those are very much kind of fall-ish, this nice kind of time of year. Right? We'll be doing Christmas. Next list is Christmas, and quite a few of our lists now through the end of the year will be Christmas or holiday related. So might as well keep a little bit of the fall in here for the last one. That would also be fun. That would give it a totally different look, but I kind of like that orange there. Wood grain. Yeah, no, I still think I love that, because I love that light blue. That light blue is really fun. The acorns are fun, but I still think I like that. Still think that's the one that's going to be the winner. I think that's going to be the winner. So let's just go through the rest of the pad real quick and see. I love that one. But here's the other thing, you guys. Like you look at both of those papers have nothing to do with fall. And I love it when manufacturers do things like that. They work generic patterns like that into a collection that you could work for lots of different things, right? Lots of different things. We used that on one of our lists before. No, I still think I like the orange. This is beautiful. I love, love, love that one. I have an idea. I have an idea. We might use a little bit of that little bit of that paper, but I think it's still going to be those two. All right, I think that's it. If I wanted to, I could use both the same, but I really like that contrast. So that's what I'm using. I need to keep that guy out there as well because we'll have a little bit of that mixed in. So I am going to work on both of these pages off the page. I call it off the page. And what I mean is I will create both of those lists on my tabletop, and then I will come back and adhere the completed list into my insert. The reason why, and this is something that just happens and it's going to continue happening for the rest of my insert now. I have lots of bulky stuff happening here. Part of that reason is because of this list where I did I added this 12 by 12 page with a tip in. So there's a lot of extra bulk happening there. And it's just something that starts to happen. There's only so much that those little staples can handle. Those little staples can only hold so much before they kind of start to pop. So that's what's happened here. That paper popped out of the staples. So this now is loose. Do you see how that's loose? That's okay. It will continue. And actually now I just pulled the whole thing out. That will continue to remain loose until I am done with the entire insert. And then I will pull the staples out gently and I will take all the pages out and then I will bind that entire insert. So that is the video that I will be doing to show you my process for doing that. So I'll just show you right here really quickly. Oopsie. These are some of my past completed inserts. See, look at that. All of those I have, when they were done, after they were done, I take out the staples, I remove the cover, I put on a new cover that's a little bit larger, and then I stitch. So I will be going through that process in a video so you can see what you do there. But look at you guys. These are how your inserts start. That is a brand new insert. Look at that. Brand new insert. And then look at that is an insert when it's done. So it's just inevitable. If you're adding anything, if you're adding stickers or die cuts or anything, your pages it's just going to get chunky, right? Whoopsie. You get a nice chunky insert. There you go. Get a nice chunky insert. So that's what I do. I go back and re-put it back together. Let's see. Deborah said, Layle, if you're going to rebind the insert at the end, why not take it apart at the beginning so that you can work on flatter individual pages without the bulk? Deborah, you absolutely could. And some people do that. Some people do that. Well, they will start here. Okay, they will start here. Brand new insert. Come in and take out the staples. And then they will keep it together with clips. So that you kind of still keep everything together with two clips, but then you just work on each insert as you can. If you are doing that, probably, Deborah, one of the reasons why I don't do that, and this is just me, is that my brain gets really hung up on having, if I take all these pages out and work on them individually, like this one right here, is part this page, but then part of the one that's way over here. So it gets a little bit harder for my brain to wrap itself around. Not that it can't be done, it's just my brain has a hard time with that. But absolutely you could do that. You could start from the beginning, separate everything, and then work that way. All right. Let's see. Carolyn said, I think I'm going to do an In the News Traveler's Notebook next year too, as I love that stamp. Very good. Dandy, question, can we get a sneak peek of next year's stamp or did I miss it? I didn't show it yet, Dandy. I think I can show it. I think I can. I mean, they're right over there. They're right over there. My production samples. So, I have not, played with them yet. I stamped them once, when I was at an event a couple weeks ago. So I haven't played with them yet, but yeah, we can take a look at that when we're done. All right, so this will be the base of my list. I need to, and that's just the tool that I use when I'm rebinding. But you'll see that in the video. Okay, so the base of my list. I always, when I am doing a base, so when I say a base, I mean something like this, where I am creating on top of pattern paper. I always have those pieces be 4 3/4 by 8. This is a 6x8 pad. So I like to use 6x8 pads when I'm working in my traveler's notebooks because they're smaller, but also the scale of the pattern is also smaller. If I had a 12x12 sheet of that paper, all those leaves would be much larger. So it's nice when you're working with a 6x8 because the pattern is scaled down. But those again, I like to be 8 by 4 3/4 because that gives me a nice little white border all the way around when I adhere that to my insert. So 4 3/4. I need to narrow that down by a little bit, and then it's already 8. So I'm good. 4 3/4 by 8 will give me that nice little white border all the way around. And then we'll do this side, 4 3/4 by 8. And this will be my right page. This will be my left page. And I need to know that right now because I'm going to round the outside corners. And that's just a personal preference. I like to round the outside corners because my inserts have rounded corners. So there you go. I mean, you don't have to, but that's what I do. Round the outside corners. And it's a good idea for me to do that right now because then I don't get something turned upside down or going the wrong way. I mean, it would be fine because these, if I did it that way on accident, then those would be upside down, but my leaves would be upside down, but not too bad because some of them are upside down. All right, so there we go. Now, normally what I would do, okay, hold on a minute. I need to think about this. I need to put my title, right? I need to put my title. Look at my little sketch. Do you want to see my sketch? There we go. Grateful. So it could say grateful or thankful or whatever it may be. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 little boxes. So I think what I'm going to do, friends, that's going to end up being upside down. But it's okay because some of them are right side up. The reason I want to do that is because I need my title to be over here. I don't want my title to be here because I think it's going to be a little bit harder to see. But let's see. So I had pulled out some stickers from one of the bundles, one of the Black Friday bundles. And these are 4 different alphas. So we have one called Cocoa that's a puffy alpha, one called Aspen that's a puffy alpha, one called Crystal that's a puffy alpha, and then Taylor. So those are all black. Taylor is white with good foil, with gold foil. So I might use, let's see, if I use the white, they might stand out a little bit more. Let's just see. Let's just look. Actually, I have these out already, so let me move this over to the side. Those are linked. That bundle is linked in the good things. In the things I'm using. There are those. Where are the black ones that I had on my flat lay? Oh, here we go. Here they are. So let's see. Let us see here. If we did, will they fit? Will they fit? Let's look. THANKFUL, thankful. GRATEFUL, grateful. Thankful, grateful, both the same. So let's just look. See what's going to happen here. I'll use my little ruler. I use my ruler to line things up. Thankful. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if that's going to stand out enough for me, but we'll see. We'll see. So I use my ruler so I can make sure that things are straight. Oh, let's try that again. To make sure things are straight, and then I can also use it to center when I go to put them down. I'll show you that in a sec if you haven't seen me do that before. The little backing came off of there. I was a little bit too zealous, overzealous. I don't know if you guys can see that there's the center of that is gold foil. They're kind of fun. Thankful. Oh, I think will work. I like the white. I used white on one of my lists last week too because it just kind of popped. But right? It just kind of popped a little bit. You guys, when you're pulling these, if you have them or if you buy them when you pull them, when you're pulling them from the sheet, make sure that you kind of, see how I bent like that? You want to make sure that you catch the adhesive on the back. Chipboard, things that are self-adhesive. Self-adhesive chipboard is kind of a little bit of an oxymoron, although it doesn't really fit that. But it's not super self-adhesive. So sometimes the adhesive has a hard time sticking, like that has a hard time sticking to the back of chipboard. So if that happens, don't worry. Just put a little bit of extra adhesive on the back. So like the sticker part on that guy stuck. Put a little bit of extra adhesive on your letter if that happens. Actually, I should. Oh, never mind. I won't mess with that now. All right. So there we go. Thankful. I think that'll work there. I think I'm okay with that. I was worried about being a little bit too busy, but I think it's okay. So now that I have all of my letters on there, and let's see if you can see those. Nancy said, yes, she always bends the sheet or rips them. So like I kind of bent it so that would make sure to capture that adhesive with it. Hi, Karina. All right. So can you guys see that? There's kind of that little bit of gold foil there. So let's do that. We'll do thankful like that. And actually, maybe I want to do it a little bit more that way. Do I have a little sticker or something I want to put there? Maybe. Let's look. Let's look and see. A little die cut, a little sticker. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Let's do that. So I'll be a little bit more over to this side-ish. Actually, if I go this way and have that, I'll go a little bit less close. The reason I'm going to go a little bit less close is because that chipboard, I probably want to come in and add a little bit of extra adhesive behind it too. I won't do that now. That chipboard, as it is sitting right here, it's going to end up going around the bend a little bit. So I didn't want that to be super in close to the edge because I didn't want that chipboard to pop. Probably what I will do, you guys, after we're done, I'll come back in and pull these off and add a little bit more adhesive so they're not lifting. And this guy, I need to come back in and add adhesive too because that's a little die cut. Just that cute little leaf is a die cut. Now let's come back in and add a little bit of extra adhesive behind that little chipboard letter too. Alrighty. Whoopsie. All right, there we go. Thankful. Now, what I thought that I would do, I thought that I would come in and make 4 little boxes out of white cardstock. That's not white cardstock. That's my photo. I thought it was white cardstock. All right, here we go. So here's some extra white cardstock that I have. And I'm going to make 4 little boxes. Now, remember when I pulled this paper and I'm like, oh, I could do something fun with this. I think I'm going to fussy cut some of these little, hexagons. So I'm going to find 4 that I like. And I know I like this guy. I think I will try to leave the white border around them. We'll see. Because I'm going to use these as accents on each of my little blocks of what people are saying they're grateful for. So So when I do a little block right here, then I'll put like that right there, and then I'll write, and then I'll have 4 little blocks, but that will be a nice little pop of color. Actually, I don't need that. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep the white on there for just a minute. This will make sense maybe in a minute. All right, so I like this little guy too. That's just a fun, totally neutral on there. So Deborah said white seems really neutral, or excuse me, Deborah said white seems really bright against that background. What about something creamier? I will show you my go-to when that happens, because I'm going to use white, but I'll show you what I'll do. And it'll help to make it a lot less bright. So hang on to that thought for a few minutes. All right, we'll use this one, I think, with the little leaves on it. I use a lot of white, Deborah. White's kind of my thing. But you could absolutely, if you had colored cardstock, you could use something that was creamier for sure. Or you could do what I'm going to do in a minute. That will help to kind of tone it down and kind of help it to blend a little bit. All right, there we go. And I need one more. So let's see. I think kind of like that tree. I think I kind of like that tree. You look to see if there's anything else. Let's go with the tree. Okay. Other thing too is Simple Stories. With all of their collections now, they have cardstock that matches all their colors. So if you don't like to use a lot of white, you could definitely use some of their colored cardstock. Now, their colored cardstock is textured, so that could just, won't necessarily cause a problem that you can't get around, but you kind of have to be aware of that if you're stamping or writing. That textured sometimes can get in the way. All right, so there are my little pieces that I'll use. These will be my little, these will be my little blocks. So I probably want to make, see what size we might want them to be. Oh, I keep thinking I need to add lead to that guy. Just kind of eyeballing here. So let's look at that and see if we like it. I'm very much a let's try and see if it works. Oh yeah, that didn't work. That won't work there. I'll cut another piece of cardstock. So we'll see how this goes. So these, if they work, are going to end up being about 3.5. Just about 3.5 by 2 3/4. It's about what they are. About 3.5 by 2 3/4. So a block here, I'll still be good. Yes, I'll fit. So 2.5. Those are 2.5 by, no, 3.5 by 3.5 by 2 3/4 is roughly what they are. But let's just do this. Let's line this up. Oh, that's good. And then we'll just do this. So they'll kind of all be the same size. Now, one of the things I could do, if I had figured all this out ahead of time, I could have given one of these little blocks to Nick and to Jack and to Kat and said, here you go, guys. I want you to write what you're thankful for on here. Or what I could do, I could, if I still wanted them to write, because I wanted to have like their voice, right? That would put their voice in my list. I could still have them write. It's just that if I was going to do that, I wouldn't adhere these yet. So I don't know, you guys, I might end up doing that because I think that would be kind of fun. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do mine, because obviously mine will be in my writing. And then I'll give them these little pieces of paper and ask them to write. I did that. The suggestion from someone, we did a Valentine's list a number of years ago. And I did a list about things that I love about Nick, my husband. And someone said, you know what, you should have Nick write a list of things that he loves about you. And I did. That was fun. And I had him do that. And it was in his writing. So that was kind of fun. So obviously I have more room over here than I do here. So that guy was just sitting in front of me. I'm just going to look to see if I have another maybe little die cut that we could make work there. We'll look and see. And then I could put maybe a little word strip on it or something. Let's look. See what we have. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. And these are from the journal bits. So, and the journal bits are kind of fun because you have room to do things like that on. That's not quite big enough for what I want. So I want either that one or that one. We'll see which one we like. We'll see which one we like. Yeah, Colleen, that would also preserve their handwriting. Exactly, which I think would be a lot of fun, right? Could be a lot of fun. All right, so, oh, look and all those little leaves just landed there. Maybe we'll work in some leaves as well. So if we did this, that's why I left a little bit of the white on. Because it partly gets lost over here, but then it really helps it stand out there. And then I can put these kind of in different spots like that. And then this one could go maybe right there. Now we'll put that up there since that one is there. Or we could go this way. Oh yes, I like it that way. And then we need one over here. Where'd that other one go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Where did it go? We lost it. All right. I'll find that in a minute. Because 3 of these I will not be able to adhere down now, right? I wonder if I put that back in the die cut pack. Do you think I did that? Did I put that in the die cut pack? Now, if you didn't want to cut up a piece of paper like that, you could just use, right, the little die cuts. Because there's lots of die cuts in the collection, or even the stickers. But I kind of liked those little hexagon things. Did I put it back in there? Let me look. Oh, yeah. So, Deborah, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'll show you. I've got you. Deborah just brought up a good point. She said if you're going to have them right on the blocks, give them a penciled margin. I'll show you what I'm going to do, though. I will see how I have those pieces right there. Those pieces, I'm going to adhere to them before I give them to them. So they will know not to write around there. The other thing I will do, darn it, I don't know what happened to that. I'll have to find that in a minute. The other thing I will do, a 2 thing here, and this is part of what is helping with the, it's part of what's helping with the white. So I'm grabbing that, my Tattered Rose. I happen to know because I've used Tattered Rose with the collection before. But if you look at that, look at the Tattered Rose. The Tattered Rose goes really well with that color. I am going to do a little blending on the edges. So I need 2 things. I need, coming over here, I need my, my little ink storage, my foam blending ink storage kits, my foam blending ink storage box, right? So there we go. I know that's Tattered Rose. So it's already colored. I know it's Tattered Rose, so I'm using the right color. I'm not having to start a brand new guy because I don't have any of the colors labeled. And I have that. I have my little tool. I'm getting ink on there in a little circular motion. And I will pick this up and I'm going to just ink the edges. with that little blending tool. So that helps to soften that white. That will help to soften that white quite a bit. And it will also help it to blend in a little bit when it's adhered to the pattern paper, right? So once I put that down and I put that guy there, now it all kind of blends in a little bit more together. It also helps with the white there. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my little outline. That will also frame where they're writing. And then I am going to take this guy, and this little guy is going to come over here. And I don't want to have it be exactly halfway. That's just a me thing. Oh, Colleen, maybe it is. Colleen said, is it under? Colleen, you're brilliant. There it is. It was under one of my pages. So for me, this is just my personal preference. I don't like things to be totally even like that. So I want to pop that over either that way or pop it over that way so it's not right in the center. So if I put mine here, I think that's what I'll do. I'll put mine here just so we can establish kind of where that base is. And then I will, this will be a list, you guys, that we actually won't finish together. We won't be able to finish it together because my family will do their parts. And good thing I wrote down what they said because they might forget. They might forget what they wanted to say. So I'll get my part done, but then I'll show you how the list turns out next week when we're together, because then it will be done. I will not let them get on the airplane until they have done their part. That was so funny when Jack came in, and he is so tall. He's a big kid. He is 6'4". He's 6'4". So yeah, he's a big kid. Big kid. He's an adult. He'll be 25. But yes, he's like totally out of the frame. Wasn't that funny? He's totally out of the frame. All right, but what I do need to do as I prep this, and here's a thought, you guys. I mean, if you have family or friends or coworkers, maybe you have a work party or something like that, and you wanted to do something like this, have people write down what they're thankful for. I would have all of this prepped ahead of time, right? I'd have their little cards prepped. So basically, you're just handing them a card, and it's all ready to go, right? You're controlling as much as you can the look of it instead of having it be different sizes, or somebody writes from edge to edge, or just kind of writes in the center, or does something where it doesn't really, do what you want it to do. So you can control as much as you can how you want it to look. Also, I will hand them all the same pen because that will also give a little bit of continuity. I don't want them going into the kitchen drawer and just grabbing, a blue pen or a pen that has a really thick tip on it or point on it. I won't like that. So I can kind of control a little bit more the outcome of things this way. Now I don't want to put glue on that whole thing because I just want to put a little bit of glue on that part, right? If I put glue on the whole thing, I'd be in trouble. I'd be in trouble right there. So here we go. And that's ready for someone else. Now, if I wanted, I could decide if I felt like I needed to put their name on here ahead of time, or if I wanted them to write their own name at the end. Like I could put Layle, or I could write here and then maybe I just sign Layle at the end. I think that's what I'll do. So there we go. There's the start of it. These will go here. And then I'm still back to deciding what I want to put down here. And I'm kind of, I don't know. No, I can't do that. The reason I can't do that, even if these things are here, it helps to bring in a little bit more of that color, but it's just not it. It's just not it. Even though there's a little bit more of that green there, it's just, I don't know. It looks too disjointed. I don't like that there. So what if we did this guy here? This guy? No, that's disjointed too. This guy? I don't know. Then I don't think so. So I will kind of think about, let's just look really quick. Let's see what we have else that's part of this collection. No, or what I could do, if I wanted, I could do thankful, grateful, right? That would be really easy. That would be totally easy. I was going to look and see if there was anything here. Well, I could do that, but no, I don't like that. Let's look at one more thing and see in the stickers if there's something. If there's something in the stickers that I could use. But if not, then I think I'll just do thankful, grateful. Because that works, right? That's totally easy. Now, these little guys, if I wanted, I don't know, let's look. Let's see what this would look like. Let's see what it would look like if I use these little tiny stickers in the sticker book to put our names on the list, right? If I did this. I don't know if I'm going to like that. Just because, well, let's put the whole one on there and see. Let's put my whole name on there and see if we like it. But I don't know if I'm going to like that. It might just be better to have everybody just write their name at the end. Oh, let's just do it. Why not? Why not? So then I will also prep each one of those for them. And then they'll write their little card and I'll just add it on there. This is really fun, you guys, the kind of idea of getting someone else's voice in your books, whether it's your scrapbook or your planner or your traveler's notebook or whatever it is. But getting in their handwriting and getting their voice in is just kind of a fun thing to do, right? Just kind of a fun thing to do. All right, so there we go. We'll have that. We'll have that. I'm going to do grateful down here. I will do grateful, and then it will just kind of all blend together. And then I'll probably put maybe some little flowers or another little leaf or something there. So let's just do that real quick, and then we will move on. How about that? Hi, Juanita. Juanita said, is anyone else seeing screen blurry? Click on the little icon, the little gear that's in your window there on YouTube, and change the quality setting. It is on your end. So that should fix it. Sometimes YouTube thinks it knows what your quality setting should be, and it doesn't really know. And so it is trying to have the quality higher than your internet connection can take right now. That's why it looks blurry. And that is, that's anytime you're on YouTube with anyone. Because I know sometimes, like it was funny when Tim Holtz released his newest color, the lumberjack plaid, and he was on YouTube, you know, showing it. Some people are like, oh my gosh, fix that. It's horrible. That's so blurry. Why are you recording when it's blurry? And it's like, yeah, you're not blurry. Change from 360 to 480. There you go. Or it puts the quality too low and you need to up it, or I never remember what it is. But yeah, if you mess with it, it's super easy to fix. Yeah. YouTubers don't intentionally broadcast blurry. It's usually on your end. Usually on your end. Don't give up. Don't give up. Let's see. Karen's doing a 2-page spread about the concert she attended in July. She already completed one 2-page spread a couple of weeks back. I have 1 or 2 left of the minor bands after this. I love it. Yes, we know. Karen's a big concert goer. Karen likes... Oh, I know. I don't remember Karen. There's one band that you have seen many times, right? Oh, yes. That will be great. That will be lovely. This will be a great way to kind of balance it out. I wouldn't have been happy any other way, I don't think. So, actually, I need to do this, though. All right. Let me just get these here because that was going to go there, and this guy was going to go here. So, if that's the case, then I want to go over here, and then I'll have another little leaf or something. So, it will all tie in well together. Like so. 80s hairband. Yes, poison 25 times. Craziness. I'm sure they start to feel like they know you, huh? Have you ever met them, Karen? After all those 25 times, this one I need to... Oh, no, maybe it's okay. Have you ever met them? All right, so now we just need one more little something there. Another little leaf. Oh, here we go. Look at, how about this little leaf? Thankful, grateful. Oopsie. We need to get under there a little bit. All righty. And then I think you guys will call this list done. And then when we're all done today and I turn off the camera, I'll prep those two pieces for them. But a fun way to get other people's voice into your list. You know, you could do this, you guys, even if this was family that, even if it was family that didn't live near you and you wanted to use this. You could just make your little cards and mail them to them and ask them to mail them back. Let's see, Denise said I finished my, oh, love it. Denise said I finished my December document and I can't wait to start in December 1. I have even planned out photos to take. Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it, Denise. Okay, friends, so there we go. That is, that's the start of that list, and we'll take a closer look. Well, we won't take a closer look. We'll take a look at the finished list next week after they have written in it, okay? Let me put that off to the side, so, like way off to the side, so it doesn't get mixed in with everything else. Alrighty, so our last list for today, let me just real quick put all of this, oh yes, this, all the harvest market off to the side because it will be too much. It'll be too much in the way. So here we go. Apologize for keeping, I keep clearing my throat. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is today, friends. All right, so third list. Let's see, we're at 12:12. Oh my goodness, we're doing great on time. Third list is, let's look. Let me look. Third list is, holiday bucket list, okay? So last week we did a list that was holiday oriented, right? We did a holiday oriented list. Oh, very quickly, I need to do this. I need to put an X there and an X there because I need to put those pages there, right? So I need to make sure I know, even though I should know, as we start working again, then I have my next two lists here. All right, so last week we did a list, things I'm looking forward to this Christmas. This week, I thought it'd be fun to do a holiday bucket list. So, hang on one sec, you guys. I need to go, let me just go clear my throat real quick, okay? Hang on one sec. Okay, thank you. I didn't want to do that with you guys. It's just the remnants of that nasty cold I had. And exhaustion. Nasty cold and exhaustion. Luckily, though, not COVID, so that's good. All right, so our last list, bucket list. Holiday bucket list. So, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go right here. I think this list I will also do off the page, but then we'll put it back in together. This, you guys, will be our, did we already talk about one prize yet? Hold on, let me look at my list. One prize was that bundle of alphabet stickers I showed you, not the ones I used, but this is one of the prizes for this week. So the way that you participate in the prizes is you guys leave a comment on the video when it is done. So make a quick mental note or hang out to the end. As soon as we're done, go leave a comment on the video. Tell me one of the things on your holiday bucket list. Even if you're not listing with us, what's one thing you want to do this holiday? So that's one of the giveaways. The other one is this. This is a giant, giant, giant bundle. This is on the website right now for Black Friday, and it is a huge bundle of product. Christmas product. It is the Merry and Bright collection. So there's pieces of this I will be using on my list today. I mean, not of the one that I'm giving away, but pieces of this I'm using on my list today. So this is going to be a double page list. Let me look at my little sketch because I had an idea. I need 2 pieces of pattern paper. This is a 2-page spread, and I'm going to work on, I'll do a list off the page like I started with the other one and then adhere it when I'm done. I start to do that kind of often when I get to the second half of my insert, just because it starts to kind of get a little messy. So let's see what I want to do. Let's look at the papers I want to use. These are papers from the 6x8 pad that is part of that big bundle. So kind of going back to what Deborah said. Well, not what she, but a little bit. It's kind of has a little bit of a softer feel to it. There's some white, but then also kind of this creamy-ish color. It's actually kind of, no, not tattered rose color at all once you put it next to it, but a little bit of a creamier base, all double-sided. So, I don't know. What do I want to do? I like that one. I think that one is a lot of fun. That one is fun. Those two could be fun together. So I need to be thinking about my plan here, because here, I don't know, maybe that's better, because maybe that is a little bit more, that's a little bit more, not so much green, right? That would be a nice contrast there. Or, oh, maybe it needs to be that one. I think it needs to be that one, because, yeah, I think maybe that one. So let's see. My 2-page list, I'm going to trim these papers down. Again, I am trimming those down too. I don't need to trim the height because they're already 8. I will trim them to 4 3/4, and that's just what I do. I just rotated that because my little corner there got a little bit bent. So we'll just chop that guy right off. 4 3/4 and 4 3/4. Let's see, Nancy said, I'm going to ask my girls to write down what they want for Christmas and what they're thankful for 2 lists I am doing. I love it. Yes. So you guys, every year in my December daily, in my December documented, I have, and this is the 15th year I've been doing that project, I have a list from the boys of what they wanted for Christmas. So back when they were writing letters to Santa, I would photocopy the list before I mailed it to Santa, because it would be in their handwriting. I photocopied the list before I mailed it to Santa, and I had that in my book. Then years later, when they stopped writing, letters to Santa, I would still make them write a list for me on what they wanted for Christmas. And those would go in my December daily book. So even if you're not doing a book like that, but if you are doing a traveler's notebook and you're listing with us, that would be a really fun list to include. Things I want for Christmas. It could be you. It could be someone in your family. It could be a friend. It could be from your pet's perspective, right? Maybe you buy gifts for your pets. And so it is a list from your pet's perspective of what they want for Christmas. But those would be fun lists to add in your books. Even now with the boys, I still make them make me a list. They don't write it. They text it to me. And then I do a screenshot of the text and print it out, and then even those go in my December daily. So kind of fun way to get still their voice in the project, but also it shows how things have changed over time, right? How technology changes. Okay, so with this one, I've never done a list that looks like this before. So I thought it'd be kind of fun maybe to change something up a little bit. I thought it'd be fun to do a little strip down this side. So let me look. I thought it might be fun to do a strip, but I haven't put the strip there yet. So strip, and then I'm just looking to see space-wise now. I'd like to do an icon here, some kind of icon up here, but don't worry because we'll be able to see that in a minute, because I'm going to do a white strip. So I know my white strip needs to be 8 inches tall. And then the width of the white strip, it doesn't necessarily need to be as wide as that. But what it does need to be wide enough is for my title. So for my title, I'm going to use, let me grab them. I'm going to the alphabet soup again. So I used the white last week on my list, the part that said looking forward to. And I think I'm going to use the black for my title over here. And that black is right there. Those are the alphabet soup. Those I have on my website. All the colors. Those are new Doodlebug. So probably what I need to do before I trim this too wide, I need to put my title on here. So let's first make this 8 inches because I know it has to be 8 inches tall. Oh, Rena, my first thought with the strip is a pull strip that lifts to reveal something underneath. Aha. So, let's talk about how you could do that. I'm not going to do that way, but I love that idea, Rena. So let's talk about how you could do that. And we'll talk about it as we go. So if you are maybe doing a 1-page list, this is a way that you could do that. Let me just trim some of this. We'll just start here. This is going to be way too wide, but that's okay. Oh, I need to get my 8, and that trimmer is not long enough or wide enough. It's just a titch. It is a titch. This is a titch taller than 8. So let's just take a titch off. All right. There we go. Right? Are we close? Still a little bit too long. Oh, not long. Tall. Sorry. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is what I think Rena's saying. Right. Watch this. So let's just, let me get another strip. Let's pretend this is it. Okay, this isn't long enough, but let's pretend. So this could be a little door. And you could have presents that are kind of along the bottom. Yes, is that what we're thinking? And then I've got other presents that I could kind of stack here. And part of them are attached. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Now I'm totally like thinking this totally different because this could be so fun, Rena, right? Okay, so then what Rena is thinking, all right, I'm gonna kind of do this. I'll switch things up, Rena. I'll switch things up because I think this could be a really fun idea. I just have to figure out now what goes underneath because I think I might still do my list over here. So let's see. So what Rena is saying is, this is our list. And we're going to take a couple of presents here. We will layer them on top like this. So let me do that. And actually what I'm going to do, I get those where I want them, like that. I'm going to pull out the magical tape. This is highlighter tape, okay? Highlighter tape is a great thing to use, like this, when I want to keep all those pieces together in the same position. And you can see some of these pieces I've used before. So I'm keeping all those pieces in the same position. Now all I do, I really didn't want it on that one. Now all I do is lift that up and those are in the exact spot that I want them. And now I can adhere all of these together. But here's the thing. These are going to hang off the bottom. So I don't want to put adhesive everywhere, right? They're going to hang off on the bottom and the sides. So I don't want to put adhesive everywhere. Let's do this. Okay, like that. So that highlighter tape served a purpose. It held all those little pieces together. So I was able to turn them over and apply my adhesive. That highlighter tape pulls right off and I can reuse it. So I can just put it right back on there. And it's not pulling off any of the pattern. It's not affecting that, that paper or the die cut at all. We'll put this one right here. That I have on my website. That's a pretty awesome little tool to have. Okay, so there we go. Now, here's my little door. And, okay, hold on. We got to deal with the back side because I put adhesive a little bit down too low. We'll be careful. So, my adhesive is too low here. So, what I'm going to do is, I am going to, I didn't get enough where I needed it to be. So it just needs to be right here. Put this guy back down. Really, I was just trying to work with that piece that I already had cut. My piece should have been longer, then I wouldn't have run into that problem. But look what I can do on the back side. On the back side, I can come in and put a whole other present. Cover all that up. Put a present this way. All right, so here is the start. Oh, UPS just came. All right, here is the start of my list. Now, there's a couple of different ways that I can make this thing lift up. All right, so let's talk about 2 different ways I can make this piece right here lift up. I can create a hinge in 2 different ways. One way I can create a hinge, and let me just show you with I'll show you with this piece. So I can create a hinge by taking a scoreboard, or I can use my trimmer as a scoreboard. I'm just going to use that little valley that's right there that my blade normally travels in. I'm going to use that little valley as my scoreboard. Take a bone folder, and I am going to just make a crease right there. Okay? Make a crease. And I turn that over. I put adhesive on the back side of the crease. And when I adhere that to something, like this page, for example, there's my door. So it hinges that way and then it flips up. So that is one way that you can do that. All right, that's one way you can do that. Another way that you can do that, so I'm just going to cut this off and I'll show you the other way. Another way you can do that is using your washi tape. So let's see. We'll just grab this guy. This is washi tape that is from that same collection. So I can take some washi tape and I can adhere part of the washi. Hopefully you guys can still see that. This is a little bit in the way. I can adhere part of the washi onto the door or whatever it is I'm trying to adhere. My little gift list or whatever that is. I'm adhering it part to the door, and I'm adhering it part to the page. Okay, so there we go. See that? And then I lift that up and I do the same thing on the back side. Right, like that. Okay, so 2 different ways that I can add something like that. Now, this is a lot more decorative right now. Hi, Mindy. Oh, my goodness. Kim Pope is with Mindy, and it sounds like they are cleaning Mindy's craft room. Isn't that a great friend? Well, this is what I think is the best part of that, Mindy, is that the way that you and Kim met is through this group. That's what I think is the coolest. In the chat, very early days of COVID, Mindy had just moved to Oklahoma from Washington State. And Mindy and a whole bunch of people were in the chat. And Mindy said she had just moved. And she said Oklahoma. And Kim piped up in the chat and said, Oklahoma? Where in Oklahoma? I'm in Oklahoma. And you guys, look at that. They're now like in-person friends. Isn't that the coolest thing? I just love it. I think that is so cool. All right, you guys. So back to our little doors here. 2 different ways to do that. Either with scoring or with our washi. Now this is kind of plain, right? Because I have that there. Well, if I wanted, I could just come in here and cover that up with washi just to give it a little bit more of a decorative look. So there's 2 different ways that you could do something like that, right? There we go. 2 different ways. So if I wanted to do that, well, we might as well. We might as well just keep going. So let's look. I could use that washi. We might as well. Let's just do it. Let's use this washi. But I want this to be a straight edge. Like that. And we'll come in here And we will put partially on the background paper and partially on the piece, our little door that's going to lift up. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get a very nice clean cut edge here. Not going to be very even, but it's close. All right. And then we lift our little door up and we do the same thing. So this is a great way to, kind of hide things from prying eyes. It's a great way to add more space for your lists, right? You could now do this entire list on one page if you wanted, instead of two. It's also just kind of a fun little interactive technique. Another thing that would be fun to do with that is like in this little bundle that we talked about, there are 3x4 cards. So sometimes what I do in my mini books is I will take 3x4 cards and do little waterfalls like that, right? So I'll do 1, 2, 3 and layer them one on top of each other. So that could be a really fun thing to do too. All right, so there we go. There's now that side of that list, which turned out so totally different than I had planned, but I love it. I love it when you guys make suggestions because it's just a sharing of ideas, right? I share my ideas with you guys, but sometimes you guys share awesome suggestions and I'm like, sure, why not? Let's try it. Let's see what it would look like. All right, there we go. So that is now part of my list. And if I wanted, I could still do, right? I could still do Santa right there. Or I could do my title there. So my title here was going to be Holiday Bucket List, right? So let's go back to the little, my little alphabet soup stickers. Where did those go? Oh, here they are. My little alphabet soup stickers. Now, what's going to be interesting with my alphabet soup stickers, they're going to be pretty small. So I might want to put something like that on there just to kind of narrow, to kind of help give it some scope or dimension around it. I sure like Santa though. All right, and these are just little, these are all die cuts from that same bundle. All right, so holiday bucket list. I will do my little ruler trick again. Oh my goodness, Colleen, it just popped into my head. I looked at the time very quickly. It's 12:33. Almost 12:34. It's almost 1, 2, 3, 4, my angel time. Okay, here we go. Holiday bucket list. So again, I'm going to use my ruler. Especially now, I have no lines to line anything up. So I'll use my little ruler to make sure I get things straight. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Colleen. Holiday bucket list. What's on your holiday bucket list, friends? What? Tell me. What's something you want to do this holiday? It doesn't have to be anything like holiday related even. There are some things on my holiday bucket list that aren't holiday related. They're just some things that I want to get done this season. So, yes. You tell me in the chat. If you are live, tell me in the chat. If you are not live, I still want you to tell me because that is going to be, oopsie, the way that we are going to do the giveaways this time. Leave a comment telling me what's on your holiday bucket list. What's one thing you want to do this holiday? You guys, like I said, it could be you want to clean out under your kitchen sink. It really doesn't matter. It's your list, so it doesn't have to be holiday related. Okay, it does not have to be holiday related. All right, I think I'm going to do that. I like this little guy to maybe hang off a little bit. Hang off the side so it's bleeding off the side a little. That looks like a good place to go. And then I just press all those down. And they are all lined up and they are all exactly where I wanted them to be. That's little ruler like that makes it super easy to do. Anytime I'm doing a title with alpha stickers, I do that. Just makes it so easy. Oopsie, guess what I did? I did not want that adhesive. Let's see if I can get that off. I did not want that adhesive on the back side of there. Oh, it's making a mucky mess. Yucky, yucky mess. I just want it right here. Okay, holiday. And then let's do bucket. Deborah, I love it. Deborah actually wants to complete her December documented album. That's a great thing to be on your bucket list, Deborah. And if not, then it can be on your summer bucket list, right? Or your 2023 bucket list. Always time. There should be no pressure. Should be no pressure to complete that project this December. Colleen wants to go for fancy high tea. That sounds like a lot of fun. I like that. Dandy, go room by room and purge and organize the house. Yeah, see, you guys, look at. Doesn't have to be holiday related. Some of us have time off. Some of us can take time off during the holidays. And so that's a lot of times when you kind of focus on just some of those projects. So, I mean, it could be just be December bucket list. It doesn't have to be something that's holiday related. For sure, right? What's on your list? What is on your list? Mindy's already tackling one of her things, right? Mindy's tackling one of her things, which is to clean her craft room. But how fun to have a buddy to do that with. If I said, like, Nick, hey, come with me and help clean my craft room, guess what would happen? You know what he would say? He would say, let's pull out the big blue dumpster. Because that's his way. He'd be like, oh my goodness, why do you have all this? You don't need all this. That's what he would say. Holiday bucket list. So yes, I do need to do it. I do need to do it. That was on my things I'm looking forward to this Christmas, is actually coming in and tackling this room, because it needs to be tackled. It needs to be tackled desperately. Holiday bucket list. This could be holiday gift list. This could be Christmas list. This could be anything, right? It could be anything. All right, here we go. Holiday bucket list. There we go. Now, on this side, there we go. Mindy and Kim are going to come help me tackle my craft room. Open invitation. Everyone who wants to come can come. Rena, organize winter clothes and match my gloves. Very good. Dandy, also on the list, flip the craft room layout. That will be a big job. Dip in the floor is causing issues where I sit. Oh, goodness. Yes, flip it, right? Flip it. That will be quite the project, won't it? All right, so for my list now on the other page, what my plan was, let's see if the plan will still work, because my little sketch let's look, since I've covered it up. Here's my sketch. That smiley face was Santa. So I was going to do a strip down the center. There was Santa. There was holiday bucket list. I was going to use Santa, a wreath, totally different letters, but that's good. I kind of changed everything. I was going to put the same paper on both pages. Now not happening. And what I was going to do here, I think this will still work over here. I was going to do a list with a library card, and now I'll do something under here later. I'll do something about maybe the end of the season. I'll did it really happen or not, or well, who knows? So I'll come back and add to this list after the holidays are over and see if I got things done or not. Or it may be a whole thing about why I didn't get things done, or maybe I came up with other things I want to do differently, or who knows? All right. So, this is, so totally different. I was going to use one of the clipboard stamps, but I'm not going to use a clipboard stamp now, because I think I just like Santa. I'd like to have Santa on there. So, if I have Santa on there, I think so what I was going to do, I was going to use a library card. So let me just look. I won't use this one because I think I'll stamp in colored ink, but sometimes if I've got my library card stamp out, I'll just stamp a whole bunch ahead of time. So this will at least let me see if it's something that I want to use. Let's just see. And let me just trim it down. See what we get. Because my bucket list would then go on the library card. All right, let's look. That could work. Santa right there. Or Santa here. Or Santa here. Or Santa there. I don't know, maybe I'll just do the black because it's already done and I have black over here. So let's do that. That's what we're going to do. So normally, you guys, what I would do is I would get out my very well used and loved. This is the nice clean one. That's the nice clean library card stamp. And here is the very well used and loved. Look at very well used and loved. So, but already stamped. So that's a little tip. If you are, actually I'm gonna talk about two things right here. That's a little tip. Sometimes you wanna be creative, but maybe you don't have a lot of time, or maybe you feel like you have no creative mojo at all. So something that you could do would be something like this. If you have a stamp that you like to use often, like a library card stamp, just get out your inks, get out your stamp, get out some white cardstock or pattern paper or whatever it is, and just get a whole bunch ready so that when you are ready to use it, you have it ready to go like I did. I didn't intend to do that, but there was one ready, and so I thought, well, I might as well just do that. What else I wanted to talk about, do you guys see the back of that stamp? Do you see how like dusty, if you could feel that, you could feel it, but it's totally dusty. There's a lot of lint on the back of that stamp. And so if I were to try to put that now on a stamping block, it would have a hard time sticking because it's dusty. There's lint all over that, like dust bunnies. And that's just what happens over time. That photopolymer is sticky, right? So it'll stick to a stamping block, but that means other things will stick to it that we don't want to stick. A really easy way to solve that problem is to get out a damp cloth. You could use water, you could use rubbing alcohol, just rub it off, let it dry, and then it is sticky again. So that's just a little tip while I feel that, and it feels all weird and yucky. Okay, hold on. Deborah said the Santa could peek out behind the white strip on the other page. So we're saying Santa could sneak out right here. So Santa could, but that strip is so wide, we wouldn't really see him. I love that though. I think that would be really fun. Like if my page was wider, he could kind of be peeking out like that, right? Now, you could do that. I typically don't like things to stick out the side of my pages on my traveler's notebook, but wouldn't that be so cute? I love the way he's sticking out like that. I mean, that is so fun, but it doesn't work. It would be so cute. Although, okay, so let's see. If we're talking about him sticking out, what if he sticks out here? Is it, well, yeah, then we don't really get it. He can't really stick out there. Then it's just weird because he's not really sticking out, right? He's not really sticking out. So he'll have to go here. He will have to go here. Oh, or you know what? There, you know what? I like that. I think I like that. I think I like that better than his whole little beard being on there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like it better that way? Or do you like it better that way where he's a little bit kind of sticking out the top of the page? I think I like it that better that way where he's sticking out the top of the page because, oh, look at behind the card. Okay. Peeking behind the card. Yeah. I think I like him behind the card for sure. I think I like him behind the card too. All right. So that's what we're going to do. But then now I have that open space right there, right? So what we need to do is we need to figure out something for that open space. So let's look back to all the pieces that are part of this. Oh, as part of this bundle, you guys, those of you that are like to use maybe your 12 by 12 scrapbooker, or you like to use your bigger papers, there's 12 by 12 paper in there. There's stickers, there's enamel dots, there's die cuts, 6 by 8 pad. There's all kinds of things. So let's look at the sticker book first and see. Oh, also look at ho, ho, ho. So let's look. There's all kinds of things. I had also pulled these guys out. Now, if these guys go here, this could work. We could do Joy. Joy could go right here. So Joy could go there and I could write my little things. I think I kind of like that. Oh yes, that's what we need. I think that's what we need right there. I could do a ho, ho, ho. This will be the other option. I could do ho, ho, ho and cut off, let's see, cut off right here. Like that. So it's just a little bit out the edge. So we could do ho, ho, ho. Oh, now I don't know. I know. Look at now maybe the ho, ho, ho. I kind of like ho, 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 don't I? I kind of like that instead of the Joy. I think it's ho, ho, ho instead of Joy. I will use that joy for something else though, because I really like those. I really like the joy. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll do ho, ho, ho. But I'll use joy for another one of my lists. Okay, so let's do ho, ho, ho right there. And when I do this, I just want to, we'll just kind of put that in the center like that. Now, somebody just said something about date. I think what I will do is this. Look at, I kind of have that little space right there. So I could put the date. So Deborah said I didn't like the line showing through the O and the O joy, right? Because there's kind of a lot going on there. If we just had that on plain cardstock like this, look how much nicer it would look, right? Because then we're not like fighting with the lines. Because the pattern on this is that grid, we were kind of fighting the horizontal lines with the grid, so it kind of looked a little odd. So we'll deal with that another time. We'll use joy another time, and when we do, we'll use it on like plain cardstock, and then it won't be fighting so much. All right, I am going to use a roller date stamp. So today is November 26th, 2002. I should just be able to stamp that right there. I'm going to test stamp first, and you know what I'm going to test stamp on? I am going to test stamp on a little strip of white cardstock. Deborah said, do you usually date your list beyond the month? I do, Deborah, I do, just because even though I know I'm in November, I always try to be in the habit of that because to me, our lists are like a little time capsule. And if somehow any of your lists happen to ever get separated from the book, then you have it dated. I think it's just a good habit to be in a good little thing to be in the habit of doing. So if that could go right below there, I think it's going to go right below there. I'm going to try to put that together. So the reason I did it on a little piece of white cardstock instead of my little book that I was using before, look what I can do. I can take this and go, okay, do I like this? Do I like what it's going to look like right there? I can place it right there. So I can get a really good feel if I'm going to like that or not. And I like it. And actually what's fun about it, it actually is almost the exact width of that word list. So I just pushed the 2 and the 6 together. Let's just make sure that still looks good. Yeah, see, they're not now as wide apart. So here we go. We will put those right here. I'm going to try to get that centered-ish. Oh boy. Hang on, I'm going to try to get that centered-ish right below. There we go. So it's a little bit off center, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. So now, and if I decided that really bothered me, guess what I could do? I could come back in and go, and just put that right there, but I'm okay with that. Alrighty, now we're over here. I just need to fill that little thing in. There we go. Now we're over here. Let's go ahead and adhere this down. And we need to adhere Santa down. There we go. Now he's just kind of peeking, but not like peeping Tom Santa. Okay, there we go. Now, one thing that I like to do, you guys saw, I already outlined that, but I am going to come back in and outline that outer of the whole spread. Like that. And like that. Okay, now I'm ready for my list. I am going to, let me look at my list and see what's on my list. Rena, but if he doesn't peep, how does he know who's naughty or nice? Right. And Deborah said, sometimes I feel that the date throws off the design. And you know what, Deborah? If you don't want to add the date, absolutely don't add the date. One of the things that I say all the time is you do you. So if you don't want to have the date, then don't put the date on. I would definitely recommend that somewhere, even if it is like the very beginning of your insert that you dated. So somewhere, and this is just my personal kind of thought, but I would have the date somewhere in your insert, because if nowhere in there, even at the beginning or the end, you don't have a date, then years from now, you may pick it up and you don't know what frame of reference this is. Or if someone in your family or a friend picks this up. I always say when we do our listing, all the information that we are writing, things like, I love it when, like, these are things that I wrote in 2022. I love it when it rains. So maybe if I was listing in 2012, I wouldn't have I love it when it rains, because maybe then I lived in Seattle and it rained all the time. So I think dating gives a lot of perspective. It also shows a lot of change over time. So I like to at least somewhere in your insert date so you remember when it was. Okay, so on my list, yes, my list of things. Did I finish this? I hope so. Oh, I did. Okay. I feel like I need a little more color over here. So I'm going to grab the Doodlebug Puffy hearts. Maybe not. All right. So these are the red ones, but the red are a little bit different in color than the red. So I probably won't do that. I don't want any more green, no white, no black, because it's a lot of black. So I'm not going to do that. So now what I will do is I can make my own little hearts because I can stamp them. So let's grab our bullet stamps. Bullet stamps. Oh, did I say, okay, I think I said 2002, but then I looked 2022, so we're good. Oh my gosh, Colleen, for a minute there, I just went, oh my gosh, I thought I almost had a little panic attack. Now, I will tell you once again, friends, I wish that I had, well, we could do a star. Maybe a star would be fun. I wish that I had one of the new stamp sets. It's probably, I don't know, UPS may have just delivered them. My production samples, but I won't use them yet. There's a brand new set of bullet stamps, bullets and more too, because there's lots of new fun ones. So, but I think I'll just use my little star. So let's try to find a red that's very close to that. Candied apple is close. Ooh, crackling campfire. Might be crackling campfire. Ooh, way too red. Barn door, way too red. Lumberjack, too much blue in that. Fired brick, nope. You know what it is? It is going to be, what did we say? I think it's crackling campfire, don't you guys? I think that's pretty darn good match. So now I go to my crackling campfire. Did I put it away? Hopefully. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Here's crackling campfire. And I am going to take the stamp. I'm taking my little stylus. Okay, you guys know the stylus. Maybe, I don't know if you're new, you might not know the stylus. Stylus is one of the little tools that I had manufactured. It is a 6-inch little cylinder. It is very specifically this length because it is the length-ish. That's a pencil. Here's like a regular pen, so your hand is very accustomed to that size. The circumference fits all of the little bullet stamps. And here's where the magic happens. We take our little, our little stylus and stamp and stamp and stamp, and it makes it so easy to stamp our little tiny stamps like that. So now I think that is like the perfect red. That crackling campfire is the perfect red. There we go. There we go. These are like all the little bullets on my list. I hope I have this many things on my list, huh? If not, I'll have to come up with some more. Okay, let's stop there and see what we get. All right, things that are on my bucket list. One of these things is also on things I'm looking forward to this Christmas, and that's okay. Snowshoeing. We like to go snowshoeing, and not far from our house. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it takes about 10 minutes. We just go up into the wilderness. Sun River Gardens. There is I've never been. It has been on my bucket list to go to for quite a while. But there is a place, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes from my house called Sun River Gardens. That is like a garden place, store, but also lots of really fun home decor. So I'm excited for that. Fairy Tale Scrapbook. So snowshoeing. Snowshoeing is when you wear snow boots and you put on something that's called a snowshoe. And a snowshoe almost looks like a big tennis racket. Okay, so if you think of a tennis racket and you think of the head of the tennis racket, how it has the webbing like that, right? And that's what you use to hit the ball. Well, a snowshoe is larger. Not a tennis racket, but kind of the same idea. And the webbing, Andrea, I thought that was you. I totally thought that was you. Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you. So, but a snowshoe has webbing on it like that on the big head, similar to a tennis racket. And you have a binding kind of thing, almost like a ski binding, but totally different, not. You put your snow boot in and the back is free. So the back of your boot is not fixed. So you walk, and if you think about like walking on a tennis racket in the snow, your feet don't fall through the snow. You can walk in snowshoes. I know that's probably not a very good way to describe it. I would say Google snowshoeing and then you will see, but that's kind of a way to explain. Hi, Carmen. Carmen, who's so funny, who keeps adding to her order. I love it. Carmen keeps emailing me. I found some more things I added. I put in a new order. I'm like, it's okay. They'll all ship together. You're good. All right. Another thing on my bucket list is to decorate the tree the first week of December. So a lot of times, now won't say usually, but a lot of times we decorate our tree Thanksgiving weekend. But I just got a new tree and it's not here yet. I decided I wanted a flocked tree. And we have to have a pencil tree because our family room is very small. It's one big great room, kitchen, family room, all that, one big great room. So we don't have a lot of room for the tree. And it's also super tall ceilings, like 12 feet tall. So, yes, pencil tree, but flocked. So I can't wait for that to come. Let's see, Deborah. Deborah said, Layle, I sent you an email about something I accidentally left out of my order. Do I need to put a new order? And said, Deborah, no, you do not. So you guys, let's talk about that really quick. We're going to squirrel for a minute. Scatter's going to join us. We're going to squirrel for a minute. So, a lot of times you, especially after Saturdays when we work and you see some new things you might want if you've already placed an order. As long as you have not received a shipping confirmation email yet. That's the email that says, yay, your order's shipped. Here's the tracking number. As long as you haven't received a shipping confirmation email yet, your order has not shipped, which means I can add to your order. I can add to your order if you tell me what you want to add, then I can go on the back end in my system and add to the order and then email you an invoice with the button that you click to pay. So super easy. Some people do that. Some people just place another order. If you place another order, you get charged shipping again because it's a brand new order. But if you email me and say, Layle, I have 2 orders, please ship them together. If I know that, then we can watch for that and I can staple your orders together. And then when we ship your order, we ship them in the same box and then I refund the shipping on one of your orders. That's if I know. Like right now, there's so many orders because of Black Friday. I would never know unless you told me. So you can do it either way, Deborah, whichever works for you. Nancy said, I always deck the halls the first weekend in December. So next week, cannot wait. Yes. So that's my goal on my bucket list is to get that done next weekend. Deborah, I love it. My mother used to have a very thin artificial tree. We called it the Christmas stick. I love it, the Christmas stick. Okay, so another thing on my list, decorate the first week of December. Here's another one, starting Tuesday. This sounds horrible. Starting Tuesday, it's always, we'll start next week, right? This would be focus on my health. Again, Nick and I. I'm a stress eater, friends. And when my life gets stressful, for example, I'm traveling 5 weeks out of 8 teaching and then trying to do business in between. I stress eat. So that means I put on a few pounds. So, and now Thanksgiving and families in town. So starting on Tuesday, because they're leaving Monday, starting on Tuesday, Nick and I are back on the wagon. So, focus on my health. That means daily walking. Now, I usually get about between 8 and 10,000 steps a day, but it needs to be more than that because that's just running around my house, like packing orders and doing things. So, needs to be more than that. So daily walking, and then also another one, the clean eating. Clean eating. So we'll do some clean eating between now and Christmas, and then it'll be good. Here's another one. I love to read. I love to read, and I never make time for it. So, reading one book a week. Reading one book a week, and that's not easy for me. I read very quickly, so I can easily do one book a week, no problem. Another one is, and this is a guilty pleasure, so it's okay. Hallmark Christmas movies. I like the Hallmark Christmas movies. They just make me happy. And you know what? I know it's the exact same movie with different people, sometimes with the same people, different setting, but sometimes the same setting. I know it's the exact same thing, but Hallmark Christmas movies. So you guys, that's all I had on my list, which guess what? I have 3 more things. So I need to think of 3 more things. I know one. I would like to do, I'd like to do a girls' lunch. I'd like to do a girls' lunch with my girlfriends. Girls' lunch. Oh, I know another one I was thinking about this morning. I would like a weekly date with Nick. Nick's my husband. So I'd like to do that through the holidays. We just go on 1 date a week. That would be good. Fairy tale, Andrea, Christmas baking. No, I don't bake. I don't cook. So no, definitely not. Definitely not. Deborah said, excuse me, any light shows in your area? Deborah, I do not know. I do not know. I know what could be on my bucket list. The last one is to have presents wrapped early. Presents wrapped early. That's not my thing. Generally, it's a Christmas Eve thing. And that's not that's not good. Well, I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's just that I'm totally stressed and not enjoying. So, excuse me. Sorry. So there's one more thing that I'd like to do here. This little space at the bottom, I would like to put a word strip sticker in there. So let's look and see what we have. Let's look. What about small talk? I don't know. Small talk might be too big. And I think I might do black. So let's look. Go where your heart takes you. That would work, right? That could totally work there. Live simply, give generously, look on the bright side, look on the bright side. That could work, right? What if we just did this? There we go. Look at, do you see how word strip stickers are my thing, you guys? They just sometimes you need just the right something. Like that is just, I don't want to go to the end on my list. I'm out of things. I don't want to put, it's just word strip sticker right there is like exactly what it needs to finish that off. So there we go. Word strip sticker. Now, there is one thing I know I will come back and do, and I've got to figure out how I'm going to do this. Right now, that is very stark looking to me, right? Doesn't that look stark? All of that white there is very stark. Looks too stark. So I think what I might do, I think that I am going to try to take some, I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. I probably can't find it right now. So maybe what I'll do, you guys, let me just look. I don't have any of my sprays here, I don't think. Let me just look. So a couple months ago, we did something with that. That was the alt new white spray. And I sprayed the background. Do you guys remember when I did that? Let me look and see if I can't find it. Now, obviously, I can't white spray that because that will not work. You won't see it. Was that this book? Hang on. It was not. I don't know where the book prior is. So, anyhow, I had sprayed. So I am going to come back and spray. I need my gold spray though. So somewhere I have gold spray like this. So I will do a little bit of gold spraying and flaking and, look at, okay, I found it. I don't know, you guys. Let's see what happens, okay? We're going to see. Let's see. Mary Lee said, I love to read, but school slows me down. I finally finished Verity a couple of weeks ago. Oh, yes. Colleen, what's her name? I'm trying to remember the author's name. Colleen something or other. She's a very popular author right now. Very popular author, isn't it right? She's some very interesting books. All right. So I'm going to just play for a minute, you guys. I'm going to play for a minute, and I'm going to play on a piece of scratch paper first. I also really need a box. So hold on. I'm going to ask Nick to grab me a box, okay? Hang on. Hey, Nick, will you grab me a box, please? I need a box.
Need what?
I need a box that I can spray into. Just like one of the little shipping boxes from downstairs. Like one of the really small ones that's in that back corner. Okay, thank you. All right, this will make sense in a minute, you guys. But I did just see what UPS brought. UPS brought, the pencil boards. So pencil boards back in stock. Colleen Hoover, there we go. Yes, thank you. Colleen Hoover. All right, so now I need Nick to bring, let me wait for Nick to bring the box, and I'll explain in a minute why a box. Let me look for one more thing, because it might be that this is, oh, darn it. No, that's not the list. That's not the book. All right, I was looking for the insert. Is this it?
You go ahead.
Nope, that's not it either. Thank you, dear. Okay. All right, guys, so.
Careful painting in the house.
Careful painting in the house. Okay. All right, so this, I know, Deborah, I know. I'll do that in a sec. So here we go, you guys. This is just a ship, this isn't even a shipping box. This is something that I ordered, came in the mail. I have put my paper, so this is just a scratch paper, so we're going to take a look at how this would work. But this is old. This is an old Heidi Swapp spray. So if I wanted to spray, I could either spray using a little nozzle. Maybe this, oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. Nozzle, all right. So you see, it's kind of goldish, kind of yellow looking. So I could do that for that. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that, because it might just look like a cat had an accident on there, right? Because it's gold-ish looking, right? It's gold-ish looking. So it would just spice it up a bit. So that is one way that I could do. So Deborah said, don't like that, right? So that is one thing I could do. Now, if I still wanted to try to get that same effect, but I wanted it to be a little bit different, I could come in with the little, I took the little guy out and I can make little splats. Okay, so I could make little splats on it. That would give it a different look. It's not so sprayed looking. It's more kind of ink splatter. Yeah, it's just not, I don't want to do red. Here's the thing, you have to be really careful if you do red. Red tends to look like blood spatter. And then green, I'm not going to like the look of either. So guess what? It just is what it is. It's just going to be what it is. It's going to be white, and it's going to be stark, but that's okay. That's what it is. It's just a list. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it some more and see if I can come up with something. And now I've got gold all over my hands. All right, friends. So now what I'm going to do, I need to add these two back in. So let me add these two back in the book. And then we'll talk about, well, while I'm doing this, we'll talk about what I'll show you guys. So a bunch of you have been asking for a sneak peek at the new stamp set for the 2023 year in review. So that is what I am going to show as soon as I get these guys added in. Totally different, of course. It has to be different than 2022. Can't be the same. Can't even have the same look to it. It's got a totally different look to it. But same concept of documenting every month. So let me get this guy here. There's that sound that Terry loves so much, huh? Stipple, yes, I could stipple it, for sure. So when when Teresa said stipple it with a gold brush. So stippling, what that would do is, not with a gold brush, with a thick brush, stipple gold. So it's almost like, almost like pouncing it. So let's just pretend it would kind of be like this, but this would be with a brush, not this, but it would be like, stippling would be like this. Right? And actually, I mean, if I played with it a little bit, I could do something like that to just add a little bit of color to that. So we'll see. We'll see if I try to play with something and come up with something to just kind of make that look not so white, but it's good. It is good. All right. Somebody said, like the pattern with the berries. Was that the back side of that? Maybe that was the back side of that with the berries, yeah? I don't remember. All right, guys, so let me get these things off to the side and grab the stamps. So I probably won't stamp with them. Oh, there's another set there. That is another, I have my production samples of 2 sets so far. I think I have, 2 or 3 more coming. I thought they'd be here today, but they're not here today. Okay, guys, here we go. This is the About Last Month stamp set for 2023. It's not available yet, not on the website yet. It will probably be up, I want to say, week after next. All right, so let me grab a piece of white pattern paper. Let me grab a piece of white paper to put this behind, so you can see it. It is a 6x8 stamp set. Hold on, Sandy. Look for Hallmark's 3 wise men and a baby. Oh yes, I saw a little commercial for that, Sandy. I'll have to look for it. All right, here, guys. Here we go. So, don't be distracted by the fact that a bunch of them are upside down. Sometimes when you're designing a stamp set, you have to place them in all different angles on the sheet just so you can fit everything. Actually, I think I do need to stamp with one of these so you guys can see. But where's my sample? I would really like to use one that I already used. Okay, you just stare at it for a minute while I look and see. Where did that go? The one that I had already used. Oh well, I don't know. I'll use another one. Okay, so I'll show you how this would work for our listing. Let's go with January. Denise, I'm glad you love it. Oh, I'm so glad you love it. I'm very excited about it because there's a couple of different components to it. Like we build things just like we did in 2020 and 2022, we are building kind of the title. So I need my stamp blocks. Where did they go? What did I do with them, you guys? Where did my stamp blocks go? On the floor somewhere. Oh, heavens. Come on. All right, I'm going to grab just... Oh, here we go. Okay, they're there. All right, so grab that guy. So each month has a three character abbreviation. And you'll notice that each month has a line either above it or below it. All right. So for example, January, as I work with January, let me get that inked up. The line below it, something goes next to January and something goes below January. Get that nice and inked up. Now, brand new stamp set, so it hasn't been primed yet. So this will go right here, like so. And then, 2023 will go next to, grab my little guy. 2023, I rocked it a little bit. Can you guys see that? Where I rocked it so it spread out a little bit. Didn't want to do that, but that's all right. So 2023 for the year will now go next to it like this. That's what that little extra extension of the line is for. All right, look at that. And then the space below the line, you have two options. Because some of you don't like to call it about last month. Some of you want to call it month in review, right? So look at, some of you like to call it month in review. Now, Teresa said turned out really nice without priming. All my stamps are manufactured in the US. There is a big difference. This is where, when they say that quality matters, stamps produced in the US are more expensive than stamps produced in China. But the quality, and I think maybe it was Denise that said it earlier, the quality, I will tell you, because I can say it, the quality of my stamps, they're very, very, very good quality. All right, and then you have either your about last month can go down below, or, and that's my handwriting, or you could go with month in review. So two options now, about last month or month in review, if you didn't want to say about last month. So I'll just stamp that one and you can see what that one looks like too. Month in review, also in my handwriting. So there you go. Mindy, thank you. Mindy Hall said, Layle, it is amazing in all uppercase. Let's see. Nancy said, love the new stamp set. Great design. Ms. L said, I love it. Thank you guys. I'm very excited about it. I'm very, very excited about it. This, and it's totally different than the last set because it needs to be different, right? We've been using the same format for the full year, or at least I have. So I wanted to mix it up. Now I'll show you something that is really funny. This is a little behind the scenes. Well, it's not funny, but it's interesting. This is a little behind the scenes. This is how, for me, this is how the design process works when I come up with new stamps. So I get an idea, and then photopolymer, all photopolymer, manufactured in the US. So, where is it? Where is it? Oh, I know. Okay, hang on, guys. Sorry. It's somewhere else. I don't know. I may not be able to find it offhand to show you. I was just going to show you what the little design process is like because since I showed you that, hold on. Let me look and see if I can find it. Let me look. Part of that, you'll notice, and if you know me and you know my style, there's a line because I do lines around everything. So that's kind of part of what makes it me. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Is that it? No. Oh, darn it. Well, I don't know. I'll show you guys next time. My little, where you can see like my process on how so all of this, the way that I did this, I started coming up with the idea, kind of sketched it out. Then I went into Photoshop and found the font that I wanted to use, typed it out, and then kind of started laying all this out and cutting out all those little pieces. That was a piece, that was a piece, that was a piece, until I figured out the way that it would work. So, Christy, can I share anything about the new bullet stamp? I do not have I don't have the production samples of that yet. I will just tell you, if you loved my first set of bullet stamps, you'll love this one even more because it is all bullets, no numbers, no little shapes. It's all bullets, and there's probably, I don't know, I bet there's probably 60 to 75 little individual bullet stamps on there, all kinds of shapes. So all kinds of icons. There's a little Santa, there's a moon, there's an ice cream, there's little headphones. I mean, there's so many new little icon stamps, or bullet stamps, because if you've been with me for a while, you know that I use bullet stamps in my lists, like bullet stamps. Let's see, all those are little bullet stamps. Let's see. All of those guys, those little dots are bullet stamps. The checks are bullet stamps, because when you're making a list, even those little leaves were bullet stamps. When you're making a list, little bullet stamps. You need something, if you're making a vertical list like that, to kind of distinguish one from the other. And if you're doing a run-on list like that, you need something to distinguish one from the other. So yes, those are coming. And assuming that I get all of those, let's see. Oh, here, let me just do this, you guys. Let me flip the camera, and then we'll chat. Assuming that I get the production samples this week, and really you have to have the production samples first, because I have to test them and make sure that everything, and make sure that everything translated, so that the thoughts in my head translate to the artwork. Now, the artwork gets sent to the stamp company, but sometimes then when you actually get the stamps and you stamp with them, something didn't quite translate right, or I don't like it the way it looks, or something like that. So sometimes we have to make changes before I go into full production. So I tend not to show anything until I get my production samples and know that's a go. So assuming I get my production samples of the other 2 or 3, I think other three, I think there's 5 total stamps coming. One's called All the Things. That's a fun one. And then the bullets. And then one is called, I think, Focus, maybe? I don't remember. Anyhow, I don't remember what I call them. So once I get all the production samples this week and I just test them, and that's basically how I test. I just make sure that they all work and everything is crisp and the size is right. Then I will put them up for pre-order. So hopefully be shipping mid-ish December. So just watch for that. Watch for that. And guess what I will do? I started 2 weeks ago, you guys, doing a live on Wednesday nights called What's New Wednesday. And I did it last Wednesday. I didn't do it this Wednesday because it was start of Black Friday, and I didn't want to kind of muddy the waters there. But this coming Wednesday I will. And hopefully I will have all of my new stamp sets then. If I do, I'll show them Wednesday night live, and then they'll be up for pre-order. So you can watch for them then there too. All right, guys, let me check the chat really quick. Let's see. Gerda said, totally new style. Love this. Pam, I love this about last month's stamp set. Christy said, sounds amazing. Cindy, the bullet stamps sound awesome. I can't wait. Denise, will there be a class? Oh, of course. With the about last month, the year in review. Yes, we'll do a class just like we did the last 2 years. So there will be a class, there will be a kit. The kit will have a stamp, a traveler's notebook insert, and then lots of other product that goes with it. And we'll get yes, absolutely a class with it, as I did in the past. Teresa said, I missed this year's stamp, but I need this one. Will the year in review kit be available in December? Mother Goose Librarian, it will be available in December. Just the timing right now is iffy and depending. I just don't know when in December. It's actually already partially kitted. The product that I had, so the paper is kitted, the traveler's notebook insert is kitted, the die cuts are kitted. What's not kitted is I have 3 custom things that are I'm having done. Well, really 4. One is the stamps. So the stamps should come probably the 3rd week in December. By the time all the stamps are produced, because it takes them a while to produce a large quantity. So then I have Pretty Little Studio customizing or creating 2 custom products for me. One, well, actually 2 different, no, 1 sticker set and 1 stamp set. No, my gosh. 1 sticker set and 1 die cut set. There we go. So that all depends on how quickly she can get all of those made and sent to me. So yes, in December. I just don't know when in December. Definitely won't be before mid-December. Oh, the other thing is a custom acrylic piece for the cover of your Traveler's Notebook insert from my friend Jessica at Colorcast Design. So yes, lots of fun custom things coming as part of that kit. Colleen said, remember, please give the video a thumbs up. Ooh, that's totally crooked. Oh, well. Yes, you guys, please give the video a thumbs up. That would be so nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Colleen, thanks for the reminder. You guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Yes, Andrea said shop small. Andrea, we talked about that at the beginning for a little bit. Talked about shopping small and shopping local if you have small local that you can shop, and then if not, shopping small online, because that helps that local community. So if you shop small with me, or if you shop small with Andrea, for example, then you are helping our local communities because you're putting money into our local communities. If you need stamps and you don't have a stamp store in your local community, so you can't shop small local. You guys know what I mean. Okay, you guys, so thank you for joining me today. I had a blast as always. I love that you guys suggested things today because we went a little bit of a different angle or direction on that last list than I had planned, which I love though, because I think it's fun that we can kind of play and experiment and try new things. So thank you for that. I know. Rena? Is that right? I think. If I scroll back up, I would know. Yes, Rena. There we go. Yes, Rena. Thank you. That was fun. All right, friends. So stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. And guess what? I'll see you next weekend, which I haven't been able to say in a long time. We'll be listing together 4 times in December, which I'm so excited for. So I will see you guys in a while. If you haven't shopped the Black Friday sale on my website, head over there and see what's there. Okay, friends, I am going to sign off, and I'll see you next Saturday, okay? Bye. Oh, don't forget to enter the giveaways. Leave a comment in the video when it's over, because fun giveaways. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. I just saw. Question for the giveaway. Did I miss? Perfect, Denise. Yes, 2 giveaways. One is a bundle of alphabet stickers that I showed earlier. They are on my What's I'm Using. So they were, one of the alphabet stickers was the white with the gold foil that I used. So that is one of the giveaways. The other giveaway is that giant bundle of that Christmas product that I used on my last list. And that is the giveaway, but also on the website for Black Friday as well. Okay, friends, there we go. Let me just make sure no other questions. I think we're good. Okay, guys, we'll chat later, okay? Bye. Oh, I just remembered one more thing. I know I'll see some of you. I'll see some of you on Tuesday. Tuesday night this week is our December Traveler's Notebook setup. So those of you that do the bi-monthly with me, this is the holiday Traveler's Notebook, and we'll be doing December on Tuesday night. So if you bought that, check your email, because you should have an email with information for that time, date, and link. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay. Andrea's going to email me. All right. You guys know I get caught up in the chat. All right. Bye, guys.